Here are dirty, deep secrets.
Deep and dirty. Also, hi, we're unmuted now.
Oh, hello.
Hey, everybody.
You
guys.
realize this session is going to have to be called Deep and Dirty now, right?
Yeah, it has to be.
This session
You've done that yourself.
already has a title. Thank you.
Sucks. Wow.
I
sort of
believe that the
stasis.
title was...
I've noticed that my titles are basically like, this is the thing that I'm going to sort of aim for. And then you guys either blow completely past it or don't get to it. So the titles are always wrong anyway.
Here, we'll do this right.
Yeah, like there's a lot of people that are like, you never fail to disappoint, but you guys never like disappoint to fail.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
A sort of deep and dirty stasis. How would you describe Eberron? Well,
I mean,
look, if you have to come down to it, it's a sort of deep and dirty stasis. How do you mean? How do you mean?
you know how you intrigue a crowd and disgust like part of that exact same crowd in one sentence? You use a sort of deep and dirty stasis. Oh, I love it. My apologies. I find this apparently very funny.
Don't apologize for things you're not sorry about.
You're right. I mean, I'm not sorry at all. That's why I did it.
And I'd do it again if I had the chance.
I would. God, that's wonderful.
The madness takes me.
Yep.
So
Madness takes hold.
I got a game on Humble Bundle called Wildfire, and
Oh, I've seen you playing that.
I played this.
it was pretty good, but I started to get more and more frustrated because nothing that you have kills people, and like,
Oh yeah.
so there's
Isn't that...
there's two ways to play stealth games, and one way is nobody sees me and I don't hit anybody, and oh, look at the skill that I have. And the way that I like is I'm the hidden monster and you're all going to die. And that is not a game where you can do that. So what the game turned into for me instead was, I'm going to hide on the other side of this door with a big lever, and I'm going to let everybody see me, and then I'm going to slam the door down. And so every level just turned into like me making pancakes out of city guards.
There are a number of levels where if you want to be I'm the monster, you just start throwing fire around indiscriminately.
Oh yeah,
And-
like when there's a ton of like bushes and stuff, you can just throw the fire and everybody will die.
Yeah, and they run around screaming, and then like you're like they come after you, and you're like, oh, you're coming after me? Have some fire, and they go, oh no, and they run the other direction into more fire, and you're like, yes, everything burns.
I've
So-
rethought so many
Nothing
things.
was safe.
You know what it makes me wish again? Remember our discussion about black and white?
Mhm.
Like, I wish more games had that death going on. But my edition of that, like stealth games, you're totally right, because when my first stealth game I ever played was Thief Deadly Shadows,
Mhm.
and
That's a
not
good game.
knowing, it's a great game. Not knowing how to stealth properly, my adolescent brain went, well, you're stealthy if there's no survivors.
Not wrong.
Correct.
And
There are no
after I-
witnesses, therefore I was not spotted.
Yeah, so after I leave the castle of the first mission with a mound of bodies off the top pillar, I felt like I did it a bit wrong looking back. But did I?
I mean, this is
I mean,
the
really,
thing.
there was no one to say otherwise, so I think you did just fine.
Looking back, if I had to do it all over again, I would.
I mean,
And if I could find a way to do it worse, I would.
I think it maybe even out of pure nostalgia for this at this point.
Yeah. Like I've played the Deus Ex run where it's like, I think it's the Ghost run where you don't get seen for the entire game. You do entire missions without anybody even knowing that you're there. Like I've played that and it's fun. I've played Dishonored with the Ghost run and it's fun. But there's also a point where it's like, ugh. Like
I mean,
sometimes when you play Hitman, you just shoot a dude.
It gets boring. That's why you take, especially in the newer Hitman, where you have an object and you like bend the bullet on fools when you throw an object.
Oh,
I like that they deliberately kept that mechanic in because someone did a briefcase video and they're like, we've removed the bug, and fan feedback was so egregious. They were like, we've restored the bug. It's now a feature.
It's so funny.
I
it's
will say
extremely funny if you throw a briefcase at someone who's taking
Yeah.
off on a jet ski.
amazing.
I seen the GIF.
There's a
Yeah.
point in Dishonored in the Ghost Run where it's near the end of the game and you're coming up to this flight of cast iron stairs, and it just opens into nothing. It's obvious that you take the path to the left, but there's a fucking guy facing away from you, and it opens into nothing. And I'll admit, I quick saved there.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah, like the game was like, so we're gonna give you this perfect. Look, you've been phenomenal the rest of the game. No one has known you were there, but this man is 400 feet above the ground taking a whiz, and you're behind him, and there's nothing in front of him. What are you gonna do? And I'm like, that's what quick save is for.
Yeah.
I don't need it to be permanent, but I need it to happen.
I just need it to happen once. That's all I need. Just this one thing. Let me have this.
I'm
little
not a
gratitude.
monster. I'm a scientist.
Oh, the terminal velocity does work. Okay, quick load.
All we were doing was making sure that they put physics into the game. We can move on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Done.
They did ragdoll especially well in this one.
It just reminds me of that image I posted a while ago of the, oh, you're a pretty shit hero of time, huh? Well, come at me, mate. Quick save. Please, no.
Oh no.
The aware NPC was like, please, sir, I've made a mistake. I want that to be a mechanic in a game similar to Stanley Parable, or the Stanley Parable or Stanley Paradox. Shoot,
It's this
Parable,
the
Parable.
Stanley
Parable, right? It's Stanley Parable. Yeah, where it's like, because there's a level of like meta and stuff, but I want it to be when you quick save to kill someone, at least one of the NPCs goes, "Guys, run! He quick saved. We're not safe."
That would be very good.
Just this. I wonder what that would do to a player if they didn't see it coming, if they didn't know it was in the game. And all of a sudden, like, but the NPCs were aware of what was happening. They were aware the whole time of the monster.
That'd be a really neat game, actually.
Okay, hold on. But it keeps
I
track.
love it as a concept.
It keeps track of how many times you've killed somebody. So if you quick load and then you attack them again, they go, "Oh, not again!"
And if you do it like at least one of them has to have like reference to like, come on, you've killed me like 10 times, man.
I've inured myself to death. Just get it over with. Yeah.
No,
No, you just load the
really
game
do.
after you've killed them, and they just start screaming.
Yeah, they run from you on sight, like, not again, not again. I really like the concept of like, you play it like, like he does it a few times and then he stops, right? He stops and you can kill him. But if you kill him like 4 or 5 times more instead of just like once or twice to test it, then he's just like, he just has a complete breakdown. Like, I tried to play silent, you just kept killing me. What more could you take from me?
Your life again.
No,
And with that,
anyway, welcome to Eberron, my deli spoons.
Let's see. Was there?
I'd like to look at Sharut and then quick save.
I'd like.
I gotta test this bonus somewhere.
It's
bud.
+1 to Goblinoid, you say?
it's questionable, but I'll allow it. So speaking of, so that everyone is aware, Noah will not be here tonight. He is off doing family things, and as such, I will be muppeting Sharut around. For those who have never seen me muppet a character before, what this basically means is that Sharut is very agreeable, and he will do what people that he trusts tell him to do, provided that is not directly sort of in violation of anything that Sharut would hate. So telling him to burn down the city, probably not. Telling him go that way, yeah, sure. Just stand,
So you're saying
just
he's
stand on this
flat-footed.
X underneath this piano. Other things is somebody pointed out to me last week that to actually save someone's life with hero points, they need to spend 2. But since the maximum number that a person can have is 3, I feel what that would lead to is nobody ever spending hero points and always holding 2. And that's boring.
Yes.
I would like it noted, I did have 2 hero points. I can spend the second hero point.
No, so I like hero points as a mechanic. If you guys never played 3.5 Eberron, that's kind of where hero points debuted, at least in D&D. And so it's supposed to be a setting of like high pulp adventure. So I want people to be able to spin them. I like awarding them when you guys do something cool or funny, and you spin them to do cool stuff in combat. So I think spending 1 to avoid it is fine. The standard hero point rules, though, for who can spend them on what is still going to apply, meaning that someone can spend a hero point to prevent the death of an NPC, animal companion, etc., but a PC cannot spend one to prevent the death of a different PC. So
PC's got to save themselves.
Yeah,
Oh,
like when it's coming to I want to make sure I live, you have to spend like your own hero points for that. Which again
makes sense.
doesn't mean always sit on 1. Like go do the heroic thing and maybe you'll just live anyway. So quick recap for all of my frigid floppy jelly spoons.
Floppy.
Whoa, how
Gross.
can you be both frigid and floppy?
I'll tell you. What do these jelly spoons do to you?
Andy's gonna break it down for you.
Gather round, children. When you're older,
It'll be in
I'll
the
tell
after
you.
show.
Andy's like, as a world-renowned connoisseur of the various worsts, let me explain to you the consistency of a good sausage. So, last week's game mostly took place within a single building. So everybody sort of said that they were going to move on to the next building, and what they found was a very ruined but once kind of ostentatious merchant's house. The merchant's house had some questionable things in it, like spikes of ice that were like very, very eager to stab people in the foot. It had a dead Umber Hulk that had been ripped in half. It had a freezing flow, being the icy ooze that was locked in the servants' quarters, and it also had a trio of ovens and one non-oven pretending to be an oven in the form of a mimic. So the party fought the freezing flow with absolutely no problem. That's the fight that I thought was going to be an issue. Then they fought the mimic and almost died. That's the fight that I thought was going to be fine. So it completely turned around my expectations for what you guys might actually struggle with and was real funny. Yeah. After that, the party decided that they wanted to rest up for the night, and they were going to head on over to the alchemy lab. I will actually go to the map. Let's go to the map.
Going to
And let's
mad.
go live.
So they were here, and they decided after they cleared this out that they were going to go back over to the alchemy lab over here. And it's basically because it has a second tower, so they can block the door, and then they could also kind of like protect the stairwell if need be. And it had a window that sort of looked out over this whole area, so they can kind of look out. And on looking out, Zeract saw right here a broken oven. Yeah. Just made me real happy.
Thrilled.
Super thrilled about it. So, what they've experienced so far in Starlasker and in the city of Olsharak has been enough to level everyone. Yeah, level in. So now,
Da-da-da-da.
so now everyone is going to be level 4, and we're going to do sort of a quick run through of what everybody gets at level 4, and then we'll roll some hit points. So I'm going to start at the bottom of the list with Zeract.
All right. Pull up my little reference here because we did this thing earlier. Zeract is Pact Maker is actually pretty straightforward. She gets at level 4 the ability to bind 2 spirits. That doesn't sound interesting. It's super interesting.
Yeah. Fourth level is really where Packbinder kicks off.
Yeah, it's real nice and good. For the attribute increase that you get at level 4, she popped that into intelligence. It just brings her from a 16 to a 17, so nothing dramatic gained there, but it's a start. Skill point distribution, points in diplomacy twice, some knowledge skills, perception, sense motive, and lore shifter faith, which is where one of her background skills goes. And the spirit she learned is Pevwern Pervon and Marat. Those are the two. Marat, she had. Oh, thank you.
Pevwern Pervon.
Pevwern Pervon. Marat, she had gotten previously as some partial research back at level 1, but Pevwern is entirely new. He is a spirit of an apprentice whose soul was ultimately destroyed when it was traded to a div by his master. And he's obnoxious as fuck, but he does alchemical stuff, which is cool, and throws acid around.
Nice.
Marat is
How do you bind his spirit if it was destroyed utterly?
well, you light a roaring bonfire and then extinguish it, allowing the smoke to billow through his seal. At which point he begins to shout his name in exasperation, before eventually forming into the form of an adolescent male standing in the ashes.
See?
That's
easy.
That's the actual ceremony. There you go. You asked, I've provided.
Yep, that is an answer.
Yep. Marat was a living construct who was the invention of a gnome and earned himself a soul. And he comes with various like armor and bodyguard capabilities.
Nice.
Fun fact: his favorite enemy is in fact gnomes.
Wow. I don't know how I should feel about that.
Oh, you don't?
No,
I think you know.
I think this is important that everybody knows this. No reason.
No, yeah. Just an interesting fact, a little factoid about the things.
And is fourth a level where you get a feat?
Fourth is not. Third is a
Okay.
level where you get a feat. Fifth is a level where you get a feat.
Gotcha. I know that like a lot of the classes have bonus feats and whatnot. So cool. And Packbinder is a D8 class, correct?
That is correct.
Go ahead and roll your D8, and I will roll my D8.
All right. Well,
You should
another
try again.
perfect D8. I think I'll take mine.
Jerks.
I'll allow it, since that's the rules that I've laid out.
That's true.
All right. And next up from the list is Tertia. Mike,
Who's that?
what'd Tertia get this time?
Uh,
I know this
let
is really
me
weird that she has been around
check.
for all of two sessions as a level 3 character, but hey.
my dex went up to 17. I got a prowess, which is just an armature thing that you can affect your like customized weapons, which I used to get skilled weapon to add an extra talent to my rapier. I got another talent. It's finesse fighting. It's weapon finesse.
Oh, nice.
And my BAB went up by 1, and my fort and reflex saves went up by 1. For kind of a boring level.
Yeah. And Armiger is D10?
It is D10.
All right.
Let's see if the trend continues.
Do it.
It did not.
You get a 7.
I do get a 7.
All right. And Lumio, tell us what you got at level 4.
You know, I decided this whole level 4 thing was not for me, so I'm just going to stay at level 3 for the rest of this.
You know what? I not only
Oh.
approve, I'll reward it. You
All right.
get 1 skill point in the skill of Dandarin's choosing.
Okay. No,
Linguistics.
ballistics? I
Linguistics.
didn't think that was a skill, but okay.
I need to take your right arm. It's going to be a gun now.
Okay.
That's actually
Do
a
I get
thing.
it back?
That's the thing.
No.
Like integrated arm bows are a thing that Warforged can add. It's really weird.
Yeah. We'll maybe do that later. Probably not, but so I did a couple of things. I realized that I was having a lot of fun with the War Sphere and not a lot of fun with the Mind Sphere. So I said, "Hey, Mind Sphere, get out." And then we put all of that into the War Sphere. So I've got a bunch of new things called rallies. I've got some that allow me to move people around in case of emergency. I've got some that allow me to, cause damage if people hit my friends. And I've got that's called the Rally of Retribution, and I've got some that make my rallies even better, like allowing me to apply the same rally to myself, or
Nice.
instance, or also duplicate it towards my allies. So if, say, Dandelion is hit by one guy, I can cast Retribution on him, and then make it bigger so that 3 people take the Retribution damage. So it's real nice that way. And then I added a wild magic thing called Inspired Surge, which is a thing that will allow me to do more wild magic stuff. It's going to be a lot of fun. I have totally forgotten its description. And then I think that's just about everything that I got this one, and a bunch of skills, obviously, because why wouldn't I do those? And oh yeah, I increased my int by 1 so that I now have many more skill points.
Nice.
Yeah, I think that rounds everything up.
All right, and then we'll do a roll for you. You are an incanter.
Indeed. So I
And-
have a D22.
22?
Yes, 22.
All right, let's see.
I couldn't get the full layout, so
Seems fair. No,
that's more than the current amount of hit points I have.
That seems not right. That seems incorrect.
Yeah, it's a d6. Go ahead and roll that d6.
Still an 18. Wow, the odds of this.
You have to type /roll before the die, Noah.
I'm glad we all know where I was going with that.
Hey, you made it.
Oh, that one! I want that one. The one you rolled, not
Yeah.
the one I rolled, because the 6 is better.
Hang on. You rolled both of those.
Yeah,
Well,
both
I
sides.
no, the second one was me because I'm clicked on Lumio.
Yeah.
I know.
So yeah. Also, Andy, because I know that you're like a little new to Pathfinder, go ahead and make sure that you add the correct number of hit points, like add your con bonus and all that.
Oh yeah, I'm adding 7.
Okay, cool. And then next above that is going
hang
to
on.
be
Andy, you also have a favored class bonus. Are you using that for hit points?
Or skill points.
No?
so
So
if
add
Incanter
4.
if Incanter is your favorite class, you can choose whether or not you're going to take an extra skill point each level or an extra hit point each level.
To be
And
super
you
clear,
you can switch between them if you'd like. You can be like, this level I'm going to take a skill point, this level I'm going to take the hit point or whatever. So it's up to
be
you whether
super
you
clear,
want 4 more hit points or 4 more skill points.
you get to choose at level 1 what your favorite class is. So when they say if this is your favorite class and you haven't selected it yet, obviously Incanter is your favorite class,
Mhm.
and now you get some extra skill points and or hit points. Sorry, skill points or hit points, not and.
Okay, so I will add the hit points because I squish.
Yeah.
Mhm, mhm.
You am squish,
And
despite being made of metal.
Yeah.
Delian,
Yeah.
how you doing?
Much better. Had a sit down with you,
Yes.
and we started talking to Leon talk, and you went, buddy, you done fucked up.
I didn't put it that way, but I should have.
You should have. It would have been factual.
Yeah.
And so, basically, and I say we, John Eric rebuilt Delian.
So that everybody knows what happened here is the thing that Travis said that he wanted to focus on when he built Delian is not the thing that he wanted to focus on once he started playing him. And he's
Yeah,
like,
the focus switched.
yeah, he's like basically the entire focus of the character is switched, and we're at the level where you can't really switch the focus without sort of changing a lot of stuff. So we kept as much as we could. I think we kept everything except for 1 feat, but we basically
It was just 1 feat.
yeah, we basically just switched around how he was built. So now instead of focusing on tech going forward, which you don't have a huge interest in, he focused on tech at the beginning to sort of unlock his magic, and now he'll focus on magic going forward.
Yeah, it
So-
was like, when you make a character and sometimes the personality and whatever sort of blossoms later on, that's what happened.
Yeah. So
Um,
basically, Delian was a hedge witch focused on the Tinker path, and now he is a level 1 technician, level 3 hedge witch focused on the Umbral path and black magic. and his technician class is rigor. So essentially, he's somebody who has a ton of utility given enough time, which actually works because that's kind of Keith Baker's like intention for artificers, is that artificers are people who can like cobble together quick magical items out of like pieces of stuff. So it kind of works.
Yeah. And, overall, like the flavor of Delian has kind of been honed in. It's like a buttery maple now instead of a sharp cheddar.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do fancy a buttery maple.
This would taste weird.
So,
So
it's been pretty cool.
yeah. And your latest level was Hedge Witch.
Sure
and they
was.
get a D8. So go ahead and roll a D8.
Cool. I will do that. Oh, let me put that in the right place. You
should probably
I
take that
think
5.
I might. Yeah, I think I might take that 5. The 1 is tempting.
Yeah. Make sure to add your con bonus, and then
Which is 0, so that helps.
okay, and then add your favored class bonus, which I picked favored class bonus during the reroll so that you weren't down on hit points. So if you'd like to add one additional one for the favored class bonus.
Cool, thank you.
All right, and then there was Tank Dandarin,
Ah, yes, my name is Dandrin. I almost died.
my brother.
So what Dandarin got? My brother. I'm coming, brother. No, so what Dandarin got was he got Blacksmith level 4, which comes with the standard base attack bonus increase, fort and will save increase. He also gained a smithing insight. And the smithing insight I selected was economic crafting. I reduced my material waste and overall materials cost. So it goes down from 1/3 of the cost of whatever I'm crafting to 1/4 for all mundane items, and magical armor and equipment is reduced by 10%.
Nice.
Hooray! This doesn't affect crafting speed anymore, which I appreciate, because we changed to a much better crafting system. But it does make everyone's wallets a little happier. It saves us a bit more money.
Yeah.
I chose a equipment sphere talent as my bonus talent. I chose Tower Shield Mastery. I do not take an attack penalty for attacking or carrying a Tower Shield. I can also bash with it like normal, doing 1d8 as a shield bash. Then I get to treat it like a heavy shield for the purpose of enchanting and modifying it. I also increase the maximum dex bonus by 1 and reduce the armor check penalty by 1, and that gets better every 5 points of base attack bonus I possess. So next level, it will actually improve. Hooray!
So right now it's only
Right now it does nothing. I have no tower
Yeah.
shield.
Well, yeah, but when
but-
you get a tower shield, instead of being a -10 armor check penalty, it'll only be -9.
Yeah, and it doesn't apply on things like, hitting people,
Yeah.
which is a big deal.
Meh.
Meh.
All right.
Uh,
Well,
and then I increased my strength score from 15 to 16, which was a big deal.
yeah. Now you hits better.
Oh, is
It hits
mine,
better and a little harder.
Sorry to interrupt. My int is a 17 now, right?
Yep. All right. Well, Dandarin, would you like to roll a d10 for me?
I would. It's not bad.
You should probably take
I'll
that
take
9.
mine. Yeah.
All right. And we are going to go over Sharut's stuff, even though Sharut is not here. So Sharut leveled up as a scholar again. He took a knack for expert healing, making him even better at healing. He took a combat talent for uncanny dodge, so that he can, stop losing his dex bonus to stuff. His dex went up a little bit, and then for his skills, he leveled all of the Sharut skills. So it's like that weird smattering of survival and stealth, and I know all the things. And that's pretty much it for him. Hit points, I will let Sharut roll, let Noah roll when he gets back. So at the moment, it won't be a big deal, provided that Sharut doesn't run up and start tugging on enemies. So, I mean, maybe it will be a big deal. Who knows?
Hey, Sharut, I got a thing for you to do.
Sharut. So
I'll give that man a hug.
you are all currently in, I believe, this place. Yerp.
Oh yeah, slumber party.
Slumber party.
Getting real close, everybody.
I believe one of the things that was going on with the fire that you were all trying to light was that Tercia was going to sort of put those winter clothes that she found next to it to
Yeah,
try to
gonna
dry
dry
them
'em
out.
out.
Yeah. But otherwise, was there anything that anyone wanted to do at night while you're staying here?
Seract is going to have to bind new spirits.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you binding?
That's an interesting question. Because I've got two sets basically that work real well here. And Zarek is actually gonna approach Dandarin and see if he's got suggestions.
Oh, well, I
Let's
need to know a
talk
little
over.
bit more about what they do. So yeah, we'll scooch on over.
Well, the first set that makes sense, that seem to be complementary, is Azazadi, the spirit of a hatchling green dragon. He's acquisitive, but capable and provides some acidic area of effect. And then this new spirit I've learned, Pevwern Pervan, spirit of an alchemist student. He's capable. They also has acidic abilities of his own, but can adjust the elemental nature. Here, in particular, the ability to have fire against some of these ice creatures might be effective. That said,
I'd say that's reasonable.
it's the direction that I'm leaning. But alternatively, well, the less nice set, Sevnor, you've seen before, the binding of the Shadow Mastiff, whose howls and ability to hunt creatures, particularly those affected by fear, is significant. Also has a limited ability to recover when attacking those affected by fear. And, well, a less nice spirit that I've learned, Al-Kra, is he does fear very effectively, and the two of them work together well.
All right.
The side effects of Al-Kra are not pleasant. It's a spirit of murder, and my personality might shift towards the less savory in that direction, but also potentially more effective on individuals.
Well, I think being more versatile would be more beneficial to the group as a whole. While being able to murder is certainly a talent that can be used in a number of situations. I think it prudent to instead be ready for anything, especially given your, how do I put this? Your weak noodle arms.
My what? Excuse me?
Direct, you're very agile, you're tough, but you've got no, not a lot of oomph behind your hits.
As he's saying it, you see Sharut like taking this bed and just dragging it down here.
That's not fair. That's a class feature.
I understand that traveling with Sharut for so long, you probably just, atrophy from not lifting anything.
Yes, that
letting Sharut do it all.
Clearly, I must assign him more tasks.
Clearly.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate your input, and
that's just my opinion on the matter, though.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, take off your armor. I need to fix it.
And she does, and goes to bind those two spirits.
And then Dandarin's going to go around and just take everyone's stuff and do his. Basically, I'm just doing my downtime, repairing everything, and my maintenance stuff.
So you're
Tercia does not hand over her weapons.
You're binding Azazadi and who else?
Pevwin Pervan.
All right.
Okay.
Well, so here's the thing. These are both at a -2 to your bind. So go ahead and figure out what you're adding to this, but your current roll is at a -2 because these are not of this. They're of a plane, but they're not of this manifest zone's plane.
Is that overriding any moon benefits, or in addition to?
So it would override it. Like once you're in the manifest zone, it overrides the moon benefit.
Okay. All right. So this is gonna suck, but so be it. I actually can't succeed on Pevwern's bind with that. However, fucking that is a success on Azazadi.
Okay.
And in fact, it grants me his capstone.
Nice.
Yeah,
even with the -2 to your roll.
even with the -2, because I would normally be at a +5. So at a +3, I'm right there.
Okay. So Zorak can do the whole ceremony. Do you have like? Do you speak Draconic?
Zarak does not speak Draconic.
Do you have 5 gold?
She does have 5 gold. That will be a +2.
That'll give you a +2. Okay.
That's what
So yeah, you I assume you're just doing this in this room. Is this where it's happening, or are you stepping off alone?
She doesn't have the explosion of fire anymore, so she's just gonna do it in this room, and she's gonna be like, if anybody is like, oh, what are you doing? She's just like, you just stand back. This is what I do.
No. Firsidon says, I've seen it. It is strange, but no stranger than most of the magic. And yeah, so Zorak, you draw the big symbol on the ground, you put 5 gold in the middle, and then somehow basically just kind of chant out the name of this hidden spirit, and this draconic wormling just sort of appears in a bunch of foul water and twigs, then just kind of like leaves you mush, like, and you gobble it down, and now you can breathe acid.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yep. Cool. And then go ahead and roll for Pevwern Pervon.
Yes, Pevwern Pervon. That name is amazing.
That's such a huge jump in DC. It went from DC 17 to DC 24.
Jeez Louise.
The problem is that I don't have. Wait a minute. Are we in the Alchemist building?
You are in the Alchemist building.
Would you say that is a university or institute of higher learning?
Definitely. That definitely applies here.
Well then, I might have a chance of getting this. I probably won't, but let's give it a shot. Nope, fuck that.
Would you like to roll again?
No, I don't. No, getting a 19 in order to bind him successfully, just not worth it.
Okay.
That does mean I get a dragon ability though.
So you light a roaring bonfire right here, and then you extinguish it. And as the smoke swirls around the seal, it then starts swirling around you. And you all see this, like, basically kind of disintegrated wizard just start appearing within the smoke, piece by piece by piece by piece. And then it condenses in the form of a human made of smoke, and Zorak makes a bargain.
Mm-hmm.
It is not a great bargain. You are showing the sign.
Yep.
And you have the personality influence. So
yeah, it's not my favorite.
Yeah. All right. So, are you doing this? Are you doing this in the morning when you wake up, or is this at night before you go to bed?
In the morning.
Okay. So, as far as the keeping of the watches, imagine that for the moment you don't have these bound. I thought you, because I said, like, what is everybody doing that night?
I see.
And, so
we could do it at night. That's also totally fine.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
So, watch wise, what's going on?
Well, we have like the one window in the stairwell, right?
Yes.
I'll take second watch.
All right, yeah, I'll take first watch. I don't mind.
Okay.
Deline will take third.
Lumio will sit nearby and do his meditative trance.
Okay. Sounds good. You guys are not necessarily able to make a comfortable. Actually, no, you are able to make a comfortable place to camp because Sharut cracked his feather token. So, like, this room is warm. It has tents and it has like sleeping bags. Like, you guys are surprisingly comfortable, actually. Because when he cracks his feather token, it doesn't just make the tent inside and the sleeping bags. It also makes a stack of firewood to burn. So
Nice.
yeah, so you guys you're kind of doing just fine. So Mike, Tertia is on first watch.
Yep.
And the other person you notice that's on first watch is Corley, who is just kind of walking around up here, occasionally going like 10, 15 feet down the steps and then just coming back. She stands there and looks out the window. But otherwise, just keeping watch. Can you give me a perception check at a -2, please?
Yes. Give me 1 second because I forgot to put that in my sheet. Okay.
All right.
Clearly, I'm distracted by all this.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. It's been a busy couple of days. You're not in your normal hovel. This hovel is completely new to you.
It's nicer though.
Yeah, it's a nicer.
It's a bit cramped.
As hovels go, it's nicer. Okay. Second watch. I believe that was Dillian.
No, I'm third.
No, it was I.
It was Danarin. Danarin, so you are on watch, and it looks like the other people that are on watch with you are Forsidna and you see Corley is kind of doing her thing, walking back and forth. Forsidna is more kind of posted over here near the desk, leaned like with her back against the stone, but her weapon unsheathed. So she's just kind of like waiting.
Right. I'll post up in a complementary position to guard the because it's just the two, right? The window and the here and like here-ish.
Yeah. All right.
I'll probably actually take somewhere like right about here.
Can you give me a perception check, please?
Yes.
All right. You actually see this thing outside the window, and it's really quick, and it kind of goes, and it just flaps by. You can.
Is it one of those cloak things?
Yeah, it kind of looks like it. It sort of looks like a weird, like a two-headed manta ray just flying through the sky. But it gets pretty close to the window of the tower.
Let the little ones keep sleeping and just go back to tooling everyone's equipment.
All right.
While I'm looking about.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to do the enhancements to everybody's equipment. And
when I trade off to Delian, I will let him know. Delian, it's your turn. Don't guard the window.
Okay.
Cloak, that flying cloak thing was flapping about, looking around. So if you're too close to the window. No.
Wonderful thing to hear waking up. Wonderful.
Would you rather I told you a sweet lie?
No. It's just
There you go.
You know that thing
I
that
want you to
almost
be
ate
safe.
you? It's still there.
Yep. Don't want anything bad to happen to you.
Want me to
Right.
lie to you? Yes, please. The thing that was about to eat you, it ain't there no more.
It's totally safe.
Well, lie, but lie better. Jeez. So, speaking of, Delian, can you give me a perception check?
Yeah, of course.
Speaking of lies,
You actually do hear that, or sorry, you see that like as it like flaps by, and
I give it the Eberron equivalent of the bird.
okay, and then as you're flipping it off, you it sort of flies out of view, like beyond the window, and then you like hear this crash inside, downstairs.
Oh, wonderful. And then I just go get everybody up.
He's calling from inside the house.
Dude, that shit's spooky. I hate that.
He's come to finish the job.
So yeah, I get everybody up.
Okay.
Crash from inside. Yep.
Well,
sure it's not just the ice
Yes.
settling.
Want me to lie to you?
Are you good at it?
Better than Dandarin.
That
he's
doesn't
right.
tell me
He is.
yes
He's
or
much
no.
better than I am.
That doesn't tell me anything.
All right, let's go.
Gearing up. Do. Brace for charge.
All right. So you guys start heading downstairs.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds it.
Yeah, I'll also go.
All right. Sharut will also go, and Forsidna will stick to Zarang. For everybody on the steps, please give me an acrobatics check.
Love it.
I would like to declare that I am doing scoot.
What, you're actually like sliding down on your butt?
I'm scooting on my butt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still gonna take the check.
Momentum's a thing.
Is it modified?
Just roll the fucking dice.
So as you Indiana Jones boulder,
This is why I needed to know.
So, Danard, you are very quickly kind of here, So basically, you lose control, but since you weren't upright, you didn't lose so much control that you go slamming into the rock. Or sorry,
Am I just like prone?
yeah. However, you 1 second. Nope, that's not it. That's
Very
not
bright.
it. That's not it either.
What kind of nonsense is filling the building?
So you slide all the way down the steps, and all the way up to here-ish is just this cloud of snow. Everybody else, let's see. I will roll for them. As Zorak goes down, they go down with her. Sharut is, I believe, higher than this. So everybody sees, like, with the light from those that have it available, you see that there's just this swirling cloud of snow that you can barely make out.
Don't like that.
And then, Mike, can you roll me a perception check?
I can. Is it modified still?
No.
Okay.
This one is not modified. What'd you get?
I got a 1.
Well,
Oh.
sir. This combat's gonna happen and you don't see it coming.
Great. Well, clearly, it's because I'm going down the stairs.
Yeah, like as you get to the top of the stairs, there's this little like sound kind of behind you, and
I'm just like, not now, Sharut.
yeah, and he goes, "Okay, wait, what?" And he's,
You know, I like this mafioso kind of goblinoid.
all right, and real quick, I'm gonna go ahead and add everybody to this, and we can everybody go ahead and roll for your dudes. All right, so Mike,
Me.
this is happening right behind you. You don't get your dex bonus unless you have uncanny dodge for some reason.
I sure don't.
Sounds fan.
That sure does hit a 14.
Sure does. All right. And can you give me a reflex save, please?
Yep. No, I cannot.
Man. So it's gonna be one of those nights. All right.
Yeah.
So you get this just bite on your shoulder. Sorry, it's not a bite. My bad. My mistake. You don't get a bite. You get a club, like a club to the back of your like right to the small of your back from this heavily noduled tail that this thing has. And in addition to the 3 points of damage it deals, you are now here. And then you are here and here. I'll click you instead. You are here and here and here and here. So I need everybody else on the stairs to please give me an acrobatics check.
Does that include me?
That doesn't include you. You were already in a state of failure.
Okay.
Would a reflex save be appropriate, or?
So this isn't necessarily your ability to dodge the incoming elf. This is your ability to dodge the incoming elf and maintain your footing.
Oh well, okay. Yep.
Actually, like, not now, Sharut.
Okay.
All right. So, it looks like it's going to be Zorak and Forsidna. I have to stop clicking you and then rolling. That's very annoying. All right. So
Agree. You should do that.
Zorak and Forsidna, you will both take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
Come to the basement. It's full of snow.
And then the round will start. It's Sharut's turn, and Sharut goes, "Tertia, what are you doing?" And he kind of hops out of the way and holds onto the wall with one hand and holds his crossbow with the other.
Clearly, I'm falling down some stairs. I thought you were behind me, and I thought you pushed me, and now you're here.
Does that mean something's behind you?
Maybe? Whatever hit me in the small of my back, which I know you can't reach.
So he will move to there. Next will be Forsidna, who will stand up. Hope. Yeah, she's. And then Zaract, it is your turn.
Zaract is still concerned that there might be something down here, and so she moves out.
Okay, so
No,
what you're in, can you give me a spellcraft?
Mhm.
Um,
I don't know that's gonna do any good, but I gave it to you.
yeah, you're looking at it and you're like, I have no idea what this is. It's just a lot of foggy snow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So after that is going to be Tertia. It's your turn.
Am I currently prone?
You are prone. You basically got stopped when you hit Forsidna, and then Forsidna and Zaract went all the way to the bottom.
I'm gonna get up and try and climb the stairs, I guess.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check.
It wasn't a 1.
That's enough to make it up the stairs.
Great. I'll be like right there.
Okay. Yeah, you can see it. And it's just
Yep. It's not a cheroot.
snapping at you with both of its mouths, just and just.
I'll
That's not
pull
how
out
you
my
do
rapier.
jazz.
Pull out the rapier.
Chatting
All
at
right.
us.
After that is Lumio.
Well, now, so it is.
Well, now.
You know what we need is totem. I think it's time for a totem. And I'm gonna do the totem of foresight because that seems like a real great idea. And I'm just gonna put it on the stairs here. Even though that's not gonna be super efficient, but that's what I'm gonna do.
So the there has to be like line of effect to the totem. So if you want, for example, Tertia to benefit from the totem, Tertia, you have to be able to draw a line to Tertia.
Yeah. Can from here. Yeah.
Actually, yeah, I would say that works. So
Yeah.
if you put it in the square that you're in, she's there.
Yeah. Something odd is happening with the lighting where I can see the clouds moving around, but I can't see anybody in it. I think.
Really?
Yeah, it's really weird. I don't
So
think this is the
right
intent of it.
right now, the only person that's in it that you could see is Dandrin, because
Yeah.
because Forsidna's right there and you don't have line of sight to it, and she's not in the light, and
Mhm.
Zaract is over here.
Okay. So is that what you want me to be able to see? I threw it up in the general just to. I don't know if there's something off about that.
Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
Yeah.
All
So
right,
the weird thing about Foundry is that I don't have a way to do effects unless they cause light. They're not really supposed to be causing light. He is, in fact, casting obscuring snow.
Oh.
So it's not
Well,
supposed
you
to be
can try to
causing
change
light,
the,
but I want you to be able to see it. No matter what, it's going to cause light. Like, even if I make it less bright, it's still lit up.
I bet you played with that for a while and still didn't get it to the way you wanted it.
Yep. This is just the way it works.
Okay. So yeah, I will drop the totem of foresight, and then I'm going to try to move down the stairs. Yeah,
All right. Sounds good.
Yep.
Um,
That's how an area effect. So do I need to roll an acrobatics to move down the stairs?
you do. Please give me an acrobatic check.
Okay. So
You can move just fine.
I want to be somewhere like here.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Next up
And
is
Go
Deleon.
ahead.
Okie dokie. I guess since we're getting attacked from both sides potentially, Deleon does not enjoy that at all. So he's gonna go back up the stairs.
Okay.
I will make you a check.
Yeah. All right. That's enough to move wherever you want to move. Also,
Yep,
from
I
where
will-
you are, you can see that Tertia is fighting the Snowcloak.
Cool. I will not do what my knee jerk was. And I will. Is there like? Can I see if there's any holes or something? Did it just like plow through, or some other magical means?
I mean, if you got up to where it is, you could look around. You don't see anything from where you are.
Okay. Yeah, I'll move up till it's like right about here.
Okay. You don't see any holes in the wall or anything like that.
Okay. So got in somehow.
Yep.
Okay, but I think that's all I can do. I double moved.
Okay. Sounds good. And at that point, Dandrin,
I think the first thing I need to do is stand up.
you stand up.
All right, and then I'll pop down and see if I can see anything through this snow. Like, how obscuring is it supposed to be? Pretty bad.
So it works basically as per the spell Obscuring Mist. So it is it's pretty obscuring, man. I will basically read it to you. 1 second here. So it obscures all sight, including dark vision beyond 5 feet. Creatures 5 feet away have concealment. Creatures further than that have total concealment. So if something's in here, you will be able to see it when you are right next to it. Otherwise, it is effectively invisible unless you can perceive through senses that are not sight.
Well, I guess I just have my shield and hammer ready to go. And other than that, this is going to be tricky.
All right. After that, well, Mike, it is now the Snowcloak's turn.
Huh?
And, well, you're there.
I am.
Does a 7 hit you?
Sure don't.
All right. Do any of those hit you?
The 20 does.
All right. That is a bite, sir. You take 2 points of damage.
Ick.
And like it starts biting at you, and it's whipping around its tail, and it's slapping you with the clawed tips of its wings, and then like almost like it didn't really notice what was going on before. It sees Delian, and both of the heads go. And then it's Corley's turn, and Corley will head down. Zeract, where are you? I can't see anything.
It's the nature of this damned cloud.
And then Sharut. So Sharut's going to go down here. I'll roll his acrobatics check, but he practically... Yeah, he's fine. Sharut goes down here, and he says, Sharut thinks he handles this. Don't go farther than 20 feet into the room. And then you hear this... And then you hear something clank onto the floor in this general area. And for Sidna can't tell where Zeract is, so she's going to stand there because she can sort of see Corley at least. And then Zeract, it's your turn.
Strax is going to back the fuck up and just out of the mist right there.
Okay, sounds good. Tercia, it's your turn.
It is my turn. Well, I'm gonna try and hit it.
I
And,
wanna wreck it.
Make it bleed.
Okay, sounds good. That'll hit it.
Great.
Damage?
It takes 1 point of piercing damage
Okay,
and takes 2 bleed. It also takes -2 to attack rolls as long as they're bleeding.
okay, sounds good. Anything else?
Nope. Everything else is written in the attack there.
Sounds good. Lumio, it's your turn.
I think Andy went
Oh, did he?
to take care of a phone call or something. I heard a phone buzzing. I assume it was him.
I know my brother called, so the phone buzzing might have been me.
Andy, Lumio does nothing, and we move on. Dillian.
Okay. So, what totem did he lay down? I know he has a bunch of
He
new
laid down
ones.
the one that gives the +2 to damage.
Ah, fantastic. Okay, so I guess I'm gonna try to take a swing at it.
Sounds good.
Because it already has some -2 attacks and stuff like that. So hopefully that will play in my favor. Dirty tricking this thing would not really do all that good. There's too many things going on. And so, yeah, that's straight up it.
I have
Cool
to
beans.
say, like, I think if something has 2 heads and you use like, I'm gonna blind one, I'll be like, all right, you blind one. Like,
Yeah.
you don't 3 Stooges both heads worth of eyes.
No, and I think Delian's still a little traumatized from the fact that it's coming back to haunt him again.
Sounds appropriate. Dandarin, it's your turn. You still hear that coming from somewhere in the room.
All right, can I try to narrow that down a little bit?
Uh,
It's vaguely somewhere.
it's where you heard Sharut throw his thing. Like, you've heard these sounds before. I was trying to say it without saying it. Sharut threw a grenade.
Yeah.
Ah.
So as Zeract backed up, she's like, nope.
Dandrin's just gonna go ahead
Well, I'm just going to stand right
and
over here.
have the shield just facing the direction I hear that.
Okay. Sounds good. And then
Ready to action if I see something, I hit something.
Okay. Snowcloak's gonna go and it's gonna try to eat Delian. Does a 16 get you?
It doesn't. Oh, thank Christ. And that's what I hate to hear.
I believe the 20 and the 22 both get you, correct?
Yep, they sure do, man.
Okay. So it misses with the tail slap. It gets you with 1 bite and 1 wing. So the bite is going to be 5 damage. The wing is going to be 4 damage. Can you make me a fortitude save?
I sure hope I can.
This is from poison, if that matters.
You had a -2 to all those attacks, and you also took 2 bleed damage.
I was going to explain it after this. It is not taking the bleed damage. You did 1 point of damage to it, and you see that wound close.
Oh.
Oh no.
This is bad news, my guys.
Well,
Can you give me the fort save?
Yeah, I sure can, ma'am.
roll.
Sounds great. Delian, you are going to take 2 points of dex damage from poison.
Oh,
Garbage.
You feel, basically what you feel is like rapid onset frostbite just kind of flooding through your body. Your body is getting numb and just hard to move. And then it starts getting actually kind of warm, which is scarier because it was
Because
just
that's nerve
flash cold.
damage.
Yeah.
yeah.
And then
And go ahead. Never mind. Go ahead.
and then Corley goes, I think it's upstairs attacking Dillian. I can hear him screaming from here.
You went a little Arnie there, and I approve of it.
It's because I started laughing halfway through. I can hear him screaming from here. No,
The whiny baby is upstairs dying.
Yeah, she says, I believe it's upstairs attacking Dillian. I can hear him screaming.
That sucks. I don't even get a choice.
I mean, okay, like,
No,
to be
you're
fair, it's up to you.
100% right.
Okay.
No, he's 100, yeah, screaming, whiny baby, the whole thing. He's crying. The tears are freezing. It's just bad.
Yes, I see it.
That's fucked.
I mean, that's about all she can do.
Just confirm he is in fact dying.
That is what is happening here. Yes.
So you guys hear this, like, and then you hear Sharut go, boom. And then you hear this from down in this area as the grenade goes off. And as you listen, you hear nothing scream in pain. And so Sharut goes, Sharut thinks that takes care of that. If it was there, grenade probably would have handled it.
It's dead now.
And then he's
Go back to bed.
Jesus. He's just gonna like doop 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 doop. Oh, it's up here. So yeah, the grenades have like a time release thing. So he threw it, it goes off, but it goes off at the start of his turn. And then he will move to there. He definitely won't move any closer because then he'd be in melee. For Sidna, will also move up. So that'll happen. And then Zarak, it's your turn.
All right. Well, Zarak will move up the stairs.
Okay.
Do you want an acrobatics check?
Yes, I do.
All right.
You definitely don't move quickly. So you're not falling, but you are moving at about half speed.
Okay. That's where she is.
Okay. And Tertia, it's your turn. You see this thing's wounds just, and then it just unleashes this flurry of teeth and claws and wingtips and a tail slap all against Delian, and about half of them hit.
That is a lot of teas. I am going to switch my weapon
Okay. What are you switching to?
to my scarf.
Nice.
Weapon. I'm already on it. That is, that's a free action. So I will then do a full attack on it. Actually, no, I'll try and move. Actually, there's no way for me to get like here without going through their square, is there?
You can make an acrobatics check. So tell me the path that you're going to take, and then I will tell you what you have to roll for it.
Well, I want to go right there.
Okay.
Just like that.
So it's an acrobatics check, and it will be versus their CMD +2.
Okay.
And the +2 is because that is in the way.
Yeah, makes sense. Skills. I rolled it.
Oh yeah, you're totally fine.
Perfect. That's the ruler. I'm not flanking. However, I am going to. It is for the purposes of the talent. I am using a fatal thrust
Okay.
if I can.
Yeah, you're not flanking it, but you can go ahead and attack.
Actually, no, I can't. Fuck. Never mind.
Why?
It requires it to be flanked, flat-footed, or has lost its dex bonus.
Okay, so just make a different attack.
Okay. All I've got is the regular attack, so it's just going to be.
Did you need to move?
Would you like to roll to confirm?
I would.
So that will not confirm, but you do still hit. So please roll
Great.
your damages.
Take 4 slashing damage.
All right. Yeah, you open up a gash along it, and does it take bleed from this?
No, different weapon.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sounds good. And Lumio, it's your turn.
Yay! Okay. Seems like things have gotten kind of spread out. Have we been attacked below yet with where Danderon's at?
No. Sharut threw a grenade down here and basically
Okay.
told everybody to back up, and the grenade exploded. And then you guys didn't hear anything, react in any pain. A couple of fragments like pinged against Danderon's shield, but like nobody's hurt.
Okay.
However,
all right, then.
I'm sure that Danderon will take this as an attack against the dwarven people. And
Indeed.
Sharut-
I'll take my attack of opportunity against Root.
And spend a hero point.
All right then. I see. I'm going to also kind of take a step back and try to get a better understanding of what's going on upstairs. Doing so very deliberately and slowly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Please give me an acrobatics check.
There's a button for that.
All right.
Yay! I'm downstairs now.
Yep. You get to about there and then go back to there. You take 3 damage from a very rough impact with the wall.
Okay.
And that's pretty much your turn. After that is Delian.
Delian's gonna get out of there.
Okay.
So, if I take a 5-foot step and then just do a move action, is that a thing?
So if you take a 5-foot step, you can't take a move action in the same round.
Okay, that's what I thought.
so,
I'd have to do a withdraw.
So yeah, you can do a withdraw.
I would like to do that.
Okay.
Is
so
he in the area of my totem?
Yeah.
yes.
Then I can spend a spell point and let him do that.
You don't have line of effect to him.
Yeah. Gotta be able to see him.
I
So
thought that's what my totem was for. That specifically granted that. I'll double check.
okay. So you can withdraw, which will give you 1 move action, or basically 1 move action of up to your movement speed. Take your whole
Yep.
turn, and will, not provoke on that first square.
Cool. Because I want to basically zoom just like that,
Okay.
booking it out of there.
Sounds good. As you book, sir, can you please give me an acrobatics check?
Of course,
God damn it.
I'm fine with it. Get me out of there.
I
'cause-
know.
Oof, man, this is bad
There's an
news.
express button.
Huh, it does say within the area of the totem. I wonder if it's within the area of the totem, even if you can't see them.
Yeah, it doesn't mention sight at all.
Okay.
They just have
So
to
I
be
imagine-
within long range.
So
of
your
the
acrobatics
target.
check is totally fine. You are able to walk wherever you would like. Can you give
Yeah.
me a fortitude save?
Sure.
Okay. You kind of like grunt down as you're walking, and you feel your body like go to the normal temperature it should be here, which is sort of like slightly cold.
Mhm.
And you stop being. You still have the dex damage, but you were no longer being actively poisoned.
Well, that's good.
I'll do what I can to change it later.
That's fine. Thanks.
And Danderon, it's your turn.
See, always looking to
Well,
improve. That's what
gee
I
golly
appreciate about
jeepers.
John.
Sounds like there's a whole bunch of nonsense going upstairs, so I'm going to fail the acrobatics check, but I will try, holding onto the rail, to get upstairs.
Okay. Give me an acrobatics check.
Oh, son of a bitch.
The problem with railings covered in ice is they're just as slippery stairs.
Yeah, you're so it's really rough because you can barely make out the stairs. So like you're kind of just walking to where you hope stairs are, and they're they're not even, and they're already covered in ice, and the railing's covered in ice, and there's so much snow just moving around, and you just whomp. And that's your turn. Tertia, you see some of this thing's wounds close, and then
Okay.
it goes, and it looks at you, and it decides that it is going to attack you because you have stolen Delian away from it.
Clearly, that is what I have done.
Wow.
The 15 misses.
Wow. Okay. So,
Wow.
wow. Tertia, you take 7 from the first hit.
Mhm.
From the 2 bites, you take 4 and 4. And from the 1 claw that hits, you take 3. Can you make me a fort save?
1 second. And I can try.
You're fine. You do not take the poison.
That's good. The bleed requires 5 points of healing to be healed or stopped.
Does it?
It does.
So it requires 5 points of healing. Does it say anything specifically about regeneration? Or does it count natural or healing the
I
same way?
don't know. Let me take a look.
Because if so, it's a weird thing where it's like it's actually down like 1 hit point because it was taking 1 bleed and healing 2 damage, and taking 1 bleed and healing 2 damage.
Well, I was taking 2 bleed.
Okay, so it would be down 4, and then next round it would be healed. So that works. So in that case, real quick, what's your AC?
17.
17. So all of those would have hit except for. So you take 4 less damage from what I just gave you. Because
Gotcha.
if it's still bleeding, it still has that penalty.
Yes, it is still bleeding. It doesn't say anything about regeneration. It says 5 points of healing
That's fine.
or a DC 20 heal check.
Cool. Sounds good. And after that turn, where it clubs you with all of its stuff, it is then going to be Corley's turn. And Corley is going to roll and be able to move to there. And she launches a black ray at the snow club. And then on Sharut's turn, so the nice thing about Sharut having his whole sheet done is I believe I can just hit buttons. So he tends to do this, I believe. Yeah, it sounds right. And the snow cloak will make a pair of fortitude saves. It'll make a fortitude save. It will be fatigued.
Good.
Oh man, they should definitely alphabetize the conditions. Why are the conditions not alphabetized?
Some people want to make you work, John.
Who does that? It's fatigued.
I think his name is Kyle.
Probably.
Mhm.
For Sidna,
Or Kevin.
we'll move to there. That is basically her turn, is being able to get up there without falling. Zeract, it's your turn.
Zeract's gonna continue to try and move up.
All right, you move up. All right, go ahead and roll for me real quick.
Yep.
All right, you're doing good. You can move as far as you want. As soon as you get to there, you can actually see the snow cloak.
Perfect. Zeract will stop here.
Sounds good.
Zeract will Zeract will breathe out fire.
Okay. Go ahead, and it's an attack roll, right? It's a touch attack.
No, it is not. I just need a reflex save.
Oh.
Oh, because you have. Oh, it's a fire breath.
It's a fire breath. That's correct.
Oh, this is a problem.
Oh, this is a problem.
However, there's I get to choose. Hold on a second. Oh, that's a big one. Let's do the smaller one. Yeah, that's still a reflex save.
Okay. So the snow cloak will make a reflex save of 11.
Oh, that's a failure.
It sounds like a failure. It sounds like something it would roll and then fail at that.
It's definitely a failure. All right. Okay, so that's just a 3d6. Haha, 12 damage.
Dad.
This is a 10-foot line, so it is literally from Zeract to the creature.
Okay.
Nothing more fancy than that.
I thought it was going to be a cold or a cone, and I was
So did I.
really.
And I was like, oh no.
Okay, so that is actually 18 damages. So, all right, good round. Yes, it definitely doesn't like it. You blow this fire right through it. Both mouths just scream in pain as they're engulfed in flames. The fire just cascades along the window, and you can kind of see it go and like trace the outline of it. And it sort of clears the frost off the window, and then you see like the frost slowly start to come back into play. And then it's Tertia's turn.
Gonna have to make another acrobatics check.
Uh-huh.
Wait, I have that on the sheet. Skills. Press Bhutan.
That'll work.
Great.
That'll hit.
Well, that's also good because now I can do the thing. That's the wrong amount. Figures. What is your CMD? Because I have an exploit for this.
Mike, tell me a
What?
story.
Oh, well, I just lopped off its heads.
Just one after the other with a bladed scarf?
Yep.
Just whop whop, and then it just like I'm gonna say that one head just kind of like flies towards Sarut, and then the other one just like lands right there, and then the body just lands and like flaps a couple more times, and it is very dead. Wow, that fire sure did change shit. I was like, oh, it's gonna be fine, because what it would have done next round is
Left.
Yeah, it would have just left. So
I don't really have a problem with you guys. I'm just gonna go. Okay.
I've
So, later.
decided against these things. So yeah,
Oh,
it
my
will.
heads are on the floor. Shit.
It will just die right there, and in being dead, will maintain a halt.
Shrewd, will you assist me with this?
And he goes, assist you with what?
And Zeract pulls out knives. I believe it's time to make use of this.
And
Actually,
he
I think you might want to wait on that until we fix the holes in everyone's bodies.
he cringes a bit and he goes, ripping apart aberrations is distasteful, but Sharut will help.
weren't you the one who was manhandling the Umber Hulk in the last?
Sharut does this on your request.
Well, I appreciate it. And actually, Zeract will probably be the one who helps because I assume Shrewd is better at that.
Yeah, I believe he actually is pretty good at the old survival.
So let me try and give him a bonus, but also like there's a fair point that this probably should happen after he heals people.
Yeah, he'll heal everyone first.
Hey,
So who actually took damage? I believe it's Delian and Tertia.
Yeah.
And everyone else who fell down the stairs.
I also was hurt in that endeavor.
Let's see.
I was also hurt in the battle, says Dandarin, who was hurt only by pride.
Let me check, Danrin. Yeah, you look fine.
All right. Delian, you will be healed for. That is 13. Tertia, you will be healed for 4.
Cool.
That's a real bad roll from him. Yeah. Sharut adds a plus 12 on a heal check, so 18 ain't great. Dandarin, you will be healed for 27.
Why?
Yes, excellent. I feel fantastic.
Everybody, please make a note, like make a journal or something like that of how many times he has used his heal skill on you, because he can only do it a limited number of times a day. Like he has 2 different ways that he can heal you, and he can only use each one a limited number of times. And it's not he can only do it a limited number of times. It's per person. He can only do it a limited number. So, Zeract, what did Sharut get on his survival check? Yeah, you guys are able to pull out a sampling of the poison. It is snowcloak venom. DC 15. 1d2 dex.
So I should clarify. My hope was to make a cloak of the snow cloak.
No, I understand.
Okay, cool.
But there's 2 things that you can pull from the snow cloak that are of value.
Awesome.
The other thing is that because the majority of the damage that happened to it was to its head and its underside from the fire, you are able to get a somewhat of a cloak from it. Like it did take some damage and it took some fire damage, so it's not gonna be fantastic. This is like wearing a partially charred manta ray, but you might be able to make something out of it.
Give it to me. I'll make something out of it.
I mean, Zeract has handed over the Umberhulk chitin. Like as she's pulling parts from monsters, she's like, "Yep," and just like
rolling them
finds
up
its way
and
into
throwing them
Dandarin's
to
hands.
Dandarin. Yeah.
Yep.
And then Dandarin, can you give us a blacksmithing check on Lumio? I believe
Sure can.
I believe Lumio took some damage as well.
I did. Whoa.
I heal him a bit.
Okay, that is
I heal him 7.
That's more than I took.
yeah, you heal him for 7. Cool.
On this day, a terrible snow monster ripped and tore my flesh. Sharut placed a singular band-aid upon the wound.
He can also give you a salve, but he lets you know that, like, he says, these wounds are too jagged for first aid. Do you want alchemical remedy?
Whichever one makes the wound close.
Okay. And he kind of, he says, it's over there, and he points behind you.
All right.
And then he just shoots you in the back. And you heal for 8.
I told
After
you.
taking 12.
After taking 12. He gets a crit. He shoots you with a poison bolt, as per usual.
Whoopsie.
So,
God, the flashbang.
everybody is able to get the last hour of sleep that they need. Or not, as you choose. And then, Dandarin, can you give me a perception check?
Why, I suppose that I might be able to do that.
You notice something really weird about your companions. And it's not necessarily about the companions that this would normally apply to, like Lumio. You notice that, like, as everybody's packing up and getting ready and, like, you're sitting down to pick at your sausages and your mushrooms and your hardtack and stuff like that, you don't see anyone else doing this. No one else has drinks. No one else has food. They just kind of like, and they're all, it's like they're all ready before you are.
Oh, that's weird. They are direct. Are you hungry?
And you're not.
I mean, not particularly. We did have those good berries recently, though. So, not surprising.
Oh, are they fill you up magically or something?
Yes. Yeah, that's explicitly what they do.
Didn't have any. That would explain. That would explain it. He's goes right back to eating and drinking. Just to confirm, we have effectively had rest, correct?
Yes, everybody is rested.
They heal 1 point of ability damage.
Yes, you'll get your 1 point of ability damage. Delian won't get his because it happened after the night of rest.
No.
So, but then you are all good to head out into the city. So let me activate the city map. Where would you all like to go? You are currently here. You have explored this and this.
Is there a Starbucks? I just like a warm cocoa. Heck, a
Yeah,
hot cocoa would be good.
Like, I could use a cappuccino. Just,
So if we want to do the next plateau, we could go over here and knock these 3 out.
That does seem like a good idea because it gives us a clear path back
Aye.
to 1 at the very least.
Okay.
Then we could make our way in a circle before storming the castle.
I don't know. That seems like an awful long way to go about it to get us to the castle.
Looks like an awful long way to let the GM finish the map.
Hey.
Huh?
Yeah, it's taking some time.
Okay.
You shut up your face.
You're welcome.
I will say, okay, so there's a thing that I put in the castle map, and I showed Andrew. I was like, you want to see my favorite part of it? And he goes, yeah. And I showed him, and he goes, why? And I was like, because it amuses me. Like, I think it's funny.
Yeah.
so hold on.
That ballroom is going to be off the chain.
How many bandages for the cracking smile on your face did that take?
I hate you.
Oh, yeah.
When you guys are all about right there, can you please give me a perception check for
Unusual stonework?
it is not unusual stonework.
Dang.
However, if you do not have low light or dark vision, you are at a -4. If you have low light, you are at a -2. If you have dark vision, you have no penalty for this.
Oh, okay. I'll just tap my eyes and I'll be fine.
Yeah, that's fine. It would
You'll
make
do.
Engaging night vision.
engaging night vision.
Basically.
I unsee things.
My God, man.
My eyes! What happened to my eyes?
My sweet baby blues and sometimes greens.
You said light vision or low light was at a -2.
Yes.
Yeah. Low light is at a -2. Normal is at a -4.
Does it help that I have the lamp?
No, because it's the distance is outside of the lamp.
Okay, that's fine. Hey, I rolled it. No.
All right. So it comes down to Dandarin, and strangely enough, Tertia. Actually, I'll roll for the other two. Yep, Dandarin and Tertia.
Both have dark vision? Well done.
No, they don't have dark vision. So
I don't.
I do.
that's their -4. And Sharut doesn't see it either. So it comes down to Dandarin and Tertia. So the two of you see something right here. And basically what you see is this figure. It's kind of like knuckle walking. It's bulky, but it looks like the top part of it is bulkier than sort of the bottom part of it. So it still has long legs, but its torso has clearly been like just beefed up. Its arms are about again as long as its body. Very heavily muscled from what you can make out of it. It's kind of at like the edge of your vision, and it's kind of walking up this way and making some noises, and then you see this figure in dark armor with a weapon that's sort of glowing with this blue fire and eyes that are glowing blue as well, and it walks out, and then you see the flaming weapon move in the darkness, and then the figure in the armor walks back in, and it doesn't look like the other creature is intact anymore.
Jeez.
Right.
Uh
Well, that was something.
huh.
What? What?
We should.
Someone with a flaming blue sword just cut a giant, I'm guessing, Umber Hulk in half up ahead of us.
Good, saving us some effort.
Maybe not go in there.
Or maybe
I'm
do
thinking
go
maybe
in there.
we just go straight for the castle.
You piece of shit.
Today, perhaps we take this plateau. Just a thought.
The enemy
me
of
more.
my enemy is my enemy, or is this the other one?
Enemy of my enemy just made Sharut happy he wore the brown pants.
And he didn't even see it.
Just shit his pants.
Just inherently
I-
new.
I had a feeling.
Could you describe it to me one more time?
It's poo. That's what it is.
Oh, I want to roll a knowledge dungeoneering on that to try to figure out what it is.
I'll give the best description I can of the creature.
I mean, Tercia just immediately starts explaining the joke.
Go ahead and give me a knowledge engineering at a -2 since you didn't see it yourself.
I would like to do the same if that's applicable.
Yeah, that's fair.
Man, there's so many knowledges.
Do I have that? I do have that. I could also roll that.
So the thing is like big, bulbous, meaty bodies is kind of all, or at least most aberrations. It's really hard to tell from the description.
Okay.
Like, big knuckle walking thing doesn't really clear it up.
Well, that could be most things down here, minus the cape with wing teeth.
Which is now gone, which we never have to worry about again. Right, world?
I really wish I could believe what you just said. There's no way. There's another.
If you
It has.
believe hard enough, it can't hurt you
It won't happen.
until it does.
No, this is the
I've been
worst
hurt by this in the past.
All right.
Don't
All right.
believe
thing. Let's carry on. I'm
So,
cold.
what are you guys doing?
I
Walk
mean,
towards that.
we'll walk towards the plateau, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Sounds good. I'll just move the group. So
Thank you.
as you walk forward, you see that there's kind of a pit here. It doesn't seem to be much of anything in it. It's just a little bit deeper than the rest of things. So you kind of have to go around it a little bit. And then as you get closer, you realize that there are stairs from the plateau, or the base level that you're on, up to one level of the plateau, and then more stairs here going to the next level. Yeah. And then when you guys get to where you are right there, can you give me another... Actually, there's no need for a perception check here. It's actually really hard to fail this. There are aberration bodies just everywhere along here.
Just littered.
You're seeing like Dolgaunts, you're seeing Dolgrims, you're seeing at least one Umber Hulk, and Dandarin and Tercia. You guys are able to look up here at the pile that was just made, and you realize that is that was a Dolgar. It was just a large Dolgar. Dolgar being the big like mutated bugbear dudes.
Oh, the ones we fought before.
These guys, the like skinless ape things.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not nearly as terrifying.
And yeah, so that's what you see there.
Well, that's less intimidating, I suppose. But yeah, that's.
I don't find it less intimidating.
Does it not strike the rest of you that the hobgoblins mentioned that they had bound him? It seems like perhaps what we're seeing is the one who once ruled this place.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh,
Maybe.
that's fine.
That's terrifying in its own right. Suppose this warrants further investigation.
I see. You mean putting
And a
up-
hasty retreat if we encounter it.
Well, I guess only way to tell what we need to do is by doing it.
Right.
Alrighty.
Let us move forward.
Let me go to map number 3 real quick and grab your miniatures.
We'll be right back.
There's map 2. There we go. Sorry, have to make sure that I'm getting them from the person-sized
That's all
map.
good, man.
That is map number 6. We'll save Corley from a fall to her death.
Oh, mighty kind of you.
All right. Yeah. So you guys, you climb the steps, and like I said, you're seeing them just occasionally just spread out along here, and so you're actually sort of here-ish, and then you come over, and yeah. What would you like to do from there?
When we reviewed this building, what did we think it was?
You think it was like a barracks or a training ground, something like that. So it could be. It's hard to tell because like it's not like the Empire set everything up in the same exact way or anything like that. But that's what you and Sharuk came to the decision on, is that this is probably some sort of barracks, training ground, staging area, something.
Okay. Having felt extreme shame over the oven, which he told no one about, Zarak is going to examine the exterior of the building.
All the way around?
Yes.
Okay. So, go ahead and walk it for me.
Any displaced furniture for me? Any, out of...
Like I said, go ahead and walk it for me. Like, move your character.
Okay.
I need to know where you're going to know what you're seeing. Oh, I should probably actually put you guys on the right map. There we go.
God damn it.
I need to know where you're going to know what you're seeing.
I need to see where I'm going to know what I'm seeing. All right. Just pop over this way.
You're seeing more of them. You're like you're not necessarily walking through them. There's like a path, but you're seeing more of them, and more and more.
She's gonna pause and like climb up this.
Okay.
Nah.
Yeah, it'll take you some time, but you'll be able to make it eventually.
And then try and squeeze through here.
Take you some time. You'll be able to do it eventually. It just depends on how long you want to spend doing it. And again, there's just bodies. So some of the bodies, like if you look at them, some of them are like goblins or hobgoblins. But those are old. Those are frozen. Anything that's new or that's on top of the pile is Dolgaunt, Dolgrim, Umber Hulk, Ice Troll, things like that.
Okay. Ice. Okay.
And same thing. It's like it's all the way around.
Okay.
They're, you got half an
Just
Umber Hulk
once.
right here. You got a small one right there. Right here, stop. You see that the door is actually open, and you can kind of even see light inside.
Zarak is not the stealthiest, and so is just gonna go for the long look
Okay.
this way.
So, when you get to where you are right there, you're looking in. What you see looks like, it definitely looks like a training ground. You're seeing, when you were down here, you were seeing like archery butts. You're seeing like weapons racks just inside the door, that sort of thing. And you're seeing the kind of pillars where you build the pillar and then you hang like a training dummy off it, with like various sticks at different places so you can practice your martial arts style, whether that's armed or unarmed. And you see a trio of circles on the ground, and in one of those circles, kneeling is what looks like it looks like the corpse of a hobgoblin, like the frozen corpse of a hobgoblin. The skin is very, very pale. Hobgoblins are usually kind of a dusky brown, and very furry. This thing doesn't seem to have much hair on its face. The skin is pulled very, very taut along its face, to the point where like you can see sort of all of its teeth. It's kind of got a rictus grin, but the rictus grin has a malice to it. In front of it on the mat, it has a greatsword. It is wearing full plate armor, and it's just sitting there kneeling in its armor, head bowed, looking at the sword.
Zeract is going to try and carefully slip off of this this cliff to the east.
Sure, give me a because now it seems like it matters. Give me an athletics roll.
God damn it!
You mean
Yeah.
acrobatics?
No.
What? Sorry, what?
I mean, are you jumping down or are you climbing down?
I don't have an athletics skill.
Or sorry, it's climb. I
That's okay.
I forgot that Pathfinder still breaks up athletics. Are you jumping down or are you climbing down?
I am going to jump down.
Okay, then give me an acrobatics roll. You're fine. You
Great. Phenomenal. And then she rejoins the group. Sharuk, you probably want to take a look ahead. It's you want to gonna do carefully with a lot of not making a whole lot of noise. It's that's probably the closest thing to undead that we've seen here thus far. I don't know how that thing is bound, but that poor bastard of a hobgoblin is definitely been affected by this place.
And he says, very hard to make hobgoblin undead. If hobgoblin is high ranking, they may be armed such that their last act prevents it. But Sharut will check. And Sharut will stealth up there, all stealthily.
If he failed that, I would feel terrible.
Plus 15, and he's just like, he just falls down the steps, making that like, ba, ba, boom, ba.
No, I assume he gets stuck in the door and starts to mic spam.
Yeah, Sharut goes up, and you see him like kind of peer at the door, and then he looks back at the lot of you, and then he goes in, and he just goes in. And
Gives the thumbs up.
how long are you going to wait?
Nope. Immediately begins to move up.
Okay. And you see that he's just inside the door, and he's just sitting there looking at the undead hobgoblin. And the hobgoblin, it's not breathing. Like, you don't see the motions that you would normally see from somebody in armor. Not that you would normally see chest compressions, because that's how armor works. But you'd see their body rock a little bit. This creature is stock still.
Damn.
Can Zeract roll to try and identify this thing?
Yeah, you can roll a knowledge religion.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal.
Phenomena.
That's a shit roll.
That's a pretty bad roll. But it's a knowledge roll failure.
Mhm.
I believe you have a thing for knowledge roll failures.
I
don't know
do,
if it's for
and I
all
haven't used
knowledge
it.
roll failures.
It's once a day, but I will use it here because I feel like that is appropriate.
Mhm.
So let me go ahead and get that thing done. Man, for all knowledge roll failures, that would be some shit.
Is it just once a day? I thought it was for
It
all
is.
of them. Jesus.
It's once a day. There you go. That's better.
Wow.
Okay, so Zoract, as you're looking at this thing, you see that
Still not a great roll.
Why? What'd you roll? A 14. A 14's still pretty good.
It's okay. You know,
Um,
it's a 19.
Above average.
Get a 40 on that.
it could have been like an 85, but
Could have been like a 200, but I didn't have the math.
That's the problem right there. Is I don't have the math.
So you have heard of creatures like this being referred to by various names, but the two most common that Zoract has heard of is either a Death Knight or a Grave Knight. Death Knights and Grave Knights, either way you want to put it, I'll probably be going with Death Knight, tend to be soldiers or paladins or, you know, just like devoted fighters, warriors to a cause that have essentially too much zeal to die. And that's kind of what you know it to be. With your rolls, you know that it is an undead. It will literally like radiate an aura of kind of palpable malaise or just generally bad feelings. It's weird because this is conflicting with what you know of like hobgoblins. Hobgoblins are not religious, especially hobgoblins around the time of this city. They're not religious. Death Knights and Grave Knights are usually like failed paladins or failed clerics and stuff like that. It can be a soldier, but it's more rare. So that like palpable desecrate aura, sacrilegious aura that he'd radiate would be a little bit weird. You also know that essentially destroying one is practically impossible unless you can destroy its armor.
Don't say.
And to be clear, before Eric gets a huge hard on, I do not mean, I sundered it and now it's broke. I mean destroy, like in a volcano.
I assume he said volcano there.
Yeah, did it cut out?
It's just Vulcan. It's
Destroy, like in a Vulcan. You have to shove it inside
Have to
the
drop
head
red
of
matter
the
into its core.
40k salamander Astartes.
correct. Yeah, just like that.
So yeah, they're just they're really hard to kill, and they tend to just go and go and go and go. That's what Zarak knows about them.
So
And you
sure
also
is-
know that based on one of these like little faint ear twitches that you've seen from this thing,
Mhm.
it totally knows that you're there.
No, okay, all right. Well, I guess Direct will just walk in
Okay. Where do you go to?
here.
Okay. It sits there.
Well, that's good because I have no interest in doing any additional bullshit at this point in time.
All right. So while this is happening, Tersa, you see the same creature. I don't believe you have the same level of knowledge about it that Zarak does. but
Oh,
you
I don't
see
have
it.
any ranks in knowledge of religion.
Yeah. Let's see. Deline, you climb the steps. You going any further?
Absolutely not. They said something fucking spooky was there, and
Deline's
Delaney
like,
ain't doing so great.
Deline's like, I'm just gonna wait here for the snow cloak to come and eat me.
I mean, like, after a really bad day, and they're like, now we're gonna go check out this really bad thing. Deline's like, nah.
Guys, can't we just adventure in cities where there's like pie shops?
She was just like,
Yeah.
This is city. Was city.
Sure, they had pie shops here.
Technically.
Well, there are going to be frozen pies here,
Yeah.
well preserved.
Hey, I'm down for a, I don't know, like 300-year-old hand pie. Sounds good.
So no, I'm right there, man.
Okay. Sounds good. For Sidna and Corley will come up to about there. Lumio, what's up? How's it going? How are you?
I'm doing all right. How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. What would Lumio like to do, Andy?
Can he talk to this thing? Does he think?
Maybe.
It's good to do that.
One way to find out.
So Lumio's gonna scroll up.
Okay. When you get to right where you are,
Oh.
like right there, you see the creature lean forward and put a handle on its sword, and then lean back with the great sword across its lap.
I'm gonna start with Goblin.
Okay.
Greetings to you, esteemed warrior of the. I know the name of the empire.
Dakani, I think.
They have a specific empire name that we've used a couple of times.
So the city name is Ulsharak.
Yeah, but it's the cap. Oh, that's right. It's Ulsharak of Ulsharak. Esteemed warrior of Ulsharak. You appear to be on a mission to maintain this place free of those ilk. Do you bear us any grudge that we might proceed onwards?
Can you give me a linguistics check, please?
Yes.
Okay, so you realize that, like, whatever version of Goblin this thing speaks is, if it speaks Goblin, is a 5,000-year-old version.
Mm.
You're having to speak that sort of, like, the ancient text version of this language.
Right. And they don't have that clear descent from.
Yeah, and so there's definitely some
yeah.
stumbling around in that. Can you give me a diplomacy check?
Absolutely. I'm adding +1 here because I haven't figured out how to add the bonus you gave me yet.
Sounds good.
Consistent.
And can you tell me what Lumio is carrying? Like, what does he have?
Not really a lot. Basically, he's only carrying his coin purse and the hat.
Okay. So yeah, you see, it looks like the grip on the handle of the sword loosens a bit. There's no, it doesn't speak. It doesn't look at you. Basically, what you get is an ear twitch, and the hand on the grip just isn't quite as tight. So
Wow, only 5 kilograms of pressure now. I feel so much safer.
Dandrin, you're the last one down there. Snow cloaks are
Well,
coming.
I suppose it'd be rude of me not to go up. So,
Not particularly.
no. If anyone's going to cause this to become a combat, it's going to be me.
Oh my god.
And yeah, you see the creature that I've described. It is a clearly an undead hobgoblin. Got a nice rictus grin. Skin is sort of a pale off blue, off white kind of thing. And it's in a good amount of plate armor.
Right? It's
yeah.
not currently making hostile actions.
Nope. It has its sword across his lap, but otherwise is not moving at all.
Well, not being hostile.
What you're saying is that it's flat-footed.
Now's our chance. Tertia, go. Mike, what are you playing next?
Different.
Dandarin.
I will step in, but not like I won't go any further than what Lumio is.
Sounds good.
And I'll just look. Basically, I'm just getting a better look around.
Okay. Can you tell me what you're holding?
There's no one there, so I just have my shield.
Okay. Sounds good. It sits there.
All right. Yeah. I'm just gonna look around and kind of take stock because it sounds like Lumio is still talking to him, right?
Yeah. So, I mean, what you see is so you see some weapon racks that have a couple of things on them, but they don't look to be in the best condition. But for the most part, it looks like, whatever weapons were on this rack were taken. You see some arrow butts or archery butts that have some arrows in them. It looks like this is a fairly standard kind of training ground. Like, this is somewhere that you could see like people learning how to fight. There's dummies on each of the pillars so that you can practice like your hand-to-hand stuff. There's fighting circles so that you can square off against your fellow soldiers. Some steps going up in the back, and that's about the edge of what you can see.
Right. I'll just keep listening in because I speak Goblin, so I'll just listen in as best I can, and I'll wait for Lumio to handle this diplomatically.
Sounds good. Lumio.
Yes, sir.
Initiate the combat.
No.
So Sharut says, Sharut will move forward to see if it will attack.
Very well.
Be ready to run.
It seems to be wary of our weaponry. Try not to draw.
And Sharut moves up to here, and basically from that movement, all you get is a flick of its ear. Lumio, can you give me do you have knowledge warfare by any chance?
I don't see that as an option that I could have.
That's fine.
No.
Sometimes people will take like knowledge skills and other things. Can you give me a linguistics check again?
Sure.
So there's a silent language that some goblins, bugbears, and hobgoblins can speak to each other. That's essentially based on subtle but also kind of complicated movements or flicks of the ear. You don't speak it because it's not really codified. It sort of varies from tribe to tribe to tribe.
I also don't have ears.
You also don't have ears, so why learn this? But
how learn this?
But you think what's going on is like there's a signal that's happening. You have no idea what it is though.
Yeah. Can I know that Shrewd speaks many languages.
Mm-hmm.
Basically Goblin so far. But he would have the closest in. I'm going to kind of do that silent whisper bark. Shrewd, do you know the ear twitch? Does it have a name?
No.
Sweet. The he attempts to make his hands digits twitch like the semaphore ear movements that they would be using.
Okay.
It behind, like near his head, or yeah, to try to go.
Okay. So yeah, you pass the message along, and Sharut looks at him, and everybody that's looking sees the flick again, and Sharut goes, "Signal language varies, tribe to tribe. Ketchvalar to Old Dakan, different, but this one standard. It's a caution. It is sign of warning. Be aware. Be perceptive. Be ready."
Lumio attempts to
Does it say what to be wary of, or just a general sense of?
I imagine that like if you ask this, Sharut and Lumio would answer at basically the same time of combat, because if you're gonna make a silent language, that's usually what it's gonna be about.
yeah.
As far as like a war language.
It's kind of neat that Lumio probably does this as an aside to Dandarin, that goblins have basically turned their bodies into semaphore, which is a signaling language based on flags being raised and lowered into certain angles and degrees.
Yeah, isn't that also
there's-
the thing that you do with like mirrors? You can do like
You can.
like semaphore with mirrors from ship to ship.
It's usually lanterns.
Yeah,
and
it's usually lights with ships.
yeah, because you can use them at night.
Yeah.
But yes, exactly the same. Although they use like Morse code or something like that.
So, and that's probably something that Dandarin's like aware of, where like, you know, if you're in ever in like really long straight tunnels, somebody might light a lamp in a particular way, or somebody might crack against the wall with a hammer in a particular way to like give a signal to everybody else. Everybody kind of works with what they have, and the goblins have like some fine control over their ear movement.
The elves have the fancy hand signals.
The elves have the fancy hand signals, and the goblins have the fancy ear signals.
What do dwarves have? Drums in the deep.
Drums in the deep.
Oh, the beard language.
yes.
A legend
know-
of face punch grows.
They braid it into
There's
fists, and then when they kiss, they give each other high fives.
Well, you know how amongst some human civilizations they valued flowers and they'll speak a language. Well, dwarves do much the same thing, but with their faces.
Yep, can confirm.
There you go. Now that's canon.
So from here, what are you guys doing?
You will make no threatening gestures, but Dandrin will, in fact, put his shield on his back, very carefully and obviously putting his shield away,
Okay.
and then slowly proceed in, kind of making a hand motion like he's just going to look around.
Okay. So that's what Dandarin's doing. Tertia, what are you doing?
I will follow behind him and be like, I don't want to rush you. It's very cold by this door. Please move a little faster.
Tertia, what's in your hands?
Nothing.
Okay.
All of my weapons are sheathed.
Sounds good. So Dandarin, you move forward.
I
Tertia,
do.
and Lumio, if you'd like, you can move forward as well.
Okay, I'm gonna move diagonal.
That was not what was offered to you.
Wow.
And you all see that flick happen sort of over and over and over. Delian, are you doing anything of note? Are you staying out here hunting snowcloaks?
Absolutely not. Like when he sees people starting to filter in, he's like sort of fast walking in.
Okay.
I'm gonna look at the ceiling. I just get the feeling that there's a trap here, and based on how flat the floor is, I am assuming that it's not coming from there.
Okay. Give me a perception check. As you're doing that, Zoract and Delian, because you would be the two. Actually, Delian, what are you armed with?
I have I'm not a kukri. That's what
Yeah.
I have. A kukri and a sap
Okay. Are you
and a short bow.
Are you armed at the moment?
No, I'm armed with my arms because it's cold and I'm cold. I've taken dex damage.
Okay. Delian and Zoract, please give me a perception check.
Okay.
'Cause-
If you say that there's a fucking swooping noise, I'm gonna lose it.
So I want to tell you what was going to happen there, but I've realized that if I do tell you, I can't do it later. but I'm very
yeah.
excited about it.
It sucks. What I hate
it.
even more is that you're like, there was a thing. I can't say it, but it might happen later. So now I just have that lingering in my head. Thanks.
I don't mean to make ominous premonitions, but ominous premonition.
So, Zarakt and Deline, are the two of you moving in?
Yeah, yeah.
Zract actually at the prepare for combat, like Zract turns the other way, and unlike everybody else, she does have her crossbow out and looks out the doorway.
Okay. Sounds good. Deline, are you moving further in?
I think he would move like here behind Tercia.
Sounds good. So yeah, you see something that you have seen nonstop. It is up to you whether you choose to stop it, but someone who is basically always armed is still always armed and starting to walk in.
No, wait, pause, correlate for Sidna.
Yeah, Coralie isn't armed. You haven't really seen Coralie draw her sword since she started firing those blasts. But Forsidna very rarely sheathes her sword when you guys are in a situation that might be dangerous.
Let's. This creature seems to be extremely sensitive to the presence of drawn weapons. Let's step out while the others see if they can negotiate with it.
And you see her turn and look at it, and there's just a twitch of an ear, and she shakes her head and walks outside with you. And yeah, but I mean, the whole time the creature's looking forward. It still hasn't really even turned its gaze towards the group of you. It's just looking forward. Lumio, what would you like to do?
Not be in here if those guys are coming in. I want to get closer to the dude.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm gonna do it in that like, take a step, observe his movements, take a step, kind of like you would approaching a wild animal.
Yeah.
That you're trying to befriend.
Mm-hmm.
Although I don't have animal handling, so I don't know how I know that. But I'm worried about it, and I want to get close enough to like look him over in fine detail to see about his any like lineage or anything like that I can glean from his armor or markings, anything like that.
Sure.
Is that cool?
Yeah. Tell me where you moved to,
Oh.
and
So this is the farthest I can see with the light as it currently is. So that's where I'm gonna hold up.
sounds good. Oh yeah, because you have those
Regular eyes.
regular
robot
eyes.
Yeah.
We built unliving soldiers who can't see in the dark.
Seems dumb. You're dumb. Yeah,
you do
well,
see
you're not in charge of the budget.
You see a couple markings on its armor. Go ahead and give me a history check.
Nobility? Oh, okay. History work. Is that local? No, that's just...
The sort of ranking that you see on the pauldron has a lot of symbols to it. You don't know exactly what those symbols mean, but you know he's like not a private or the equivalent. But you looking at it, you're not able to make out what it is.
Okay. I'll hold there and like kind of study it, try to figure out what I'm looking at. Spend some more time on it. Equivalent of taking a 10. I don't expect a different result.
Okay. So, while you're doing that and like looking it over, is anybody else doing anything?
I'm just looking around for anything more specific, like a deeper look.
I mean, Tercia is just gonna probably follow Lumio.
Okay. You see the sort of stiffening of the grip and a flick of the ear, but it doesn't otherwise move. And Lumio, you can actually see a little bit more now, thanks to Tercia's light. It looks like beyond that little where the steps are up here, there's like a landing, probably somewhere where like teachers could watch people that are doing their training. And then beyond that, you see some doors that are currently closed.
Okay. As close as I am, do I see anything intermixed with the danger warning combat ear flick?
No, you don't. Like looking around. So this place is not pristine. Like you see that there are like stains, like blood stains on the ground. But
Mhm.
as for when those happen, no idea really. You just see them. You notice that there's a little bit less ice here than there would have been in the other buildings that you came in. So the sort of, whereas outside you have stone, in here it's more of a hard packed earth or hard packed clay, but it doesn't have that sheen of ice over it. It does look like you know, weapon racks that look like they used to hold dozens and dozens of weapons, and
Are
you see
fairly empty.
yeah, they're fairly empty. Things up here that apparently held bows and arrows, or bows and sheaves of arrows, those are empty as well.
Okay.
So yeah, it mostly looks like a place where a fight happened, but not recently.
I'm just gonna kind of like create a narrative, as I'm looking around, out and in Goblin, and try to kind of gauge his viewpoint, of the historical triggers that would have happened here. I know that the Dolgons came in and were caused by some kind of aberration, bringing terror and terribleness to their terribleness to their history and to their minds, and forever changing them, based on his duty of service, and how long he's been here, and the inferring that he's here to guard something or to continue something. He was probably something like a teacher here, or maybe a former student, who learned combat prowess here and wanted to continue the line. And he's been doing it for thousands of years, which shows his duty. And like, I'm trying to get, as I'm explaining this history, kind of what his intention is about being here. Because if he's here to defend it from like being looted, we should probably just leave. If he's here to defend it for the sake of honor or to pass something on, there's a different kind of way we can judge or react to him.
So you're basically just trying to like recount the history out loud, and
Yeah,
then
as I've
see
figured
how
it
he
out.
reacts to it.
Yeah, basically.
Give me a diplomacy check.
How's that?
Okay, so what you
Oh, that should
see,
be one higher.
what you see as you're talking is, you see his grip kind of, like its grip tightens and it leans slightly forward, which is the most movement you've seen out of it that doesn't happen to its hand and its ear.
Mhm.
And you're sort of talking and recounting all of this, and then you see its head snap up, and it turns to the left, and it's looking not at you but sort of past you, and its eyes are just real bright, like you see that they are actually sort of a blue fire. And then
follow
he
his gaze.
springs to his feet, and it starts moving real fast.
Oh, fuck that noise. Delian's like immediately in this corner.
I think Corley probably does the same and goes, Fortuna!
Like, there's no fucking way.
Beep beep! Here comes the pain train.
God damn it.
Zoract, can you give me a perception check?
You bet. Let's see here. Like, as it moves forward, Zract is unsurprised. She's facing the correct way. She has intuited things.
Yeah, you see over here a quartet of little tentacles basically come up and then dig themselves into the ice. And then you see two Dolgons begin to pull themselves up onto the ice.
Okay, Zract has a thought here. Let's make friends with a Death Knight the best way that we can. She's going to shoot one of them as it's coming up.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack roll for me. Okay, so that's not going to hit, but you do take the shot, and it just sort of like, you know, kind of like pings off the ice, and you see this thing charge, and then that one doesn't exist anymore. And then this one latches both of the tentacles on it, and the Death Knight doesn't really resist the tentacles at all. And it just reaches out with a hand and grips the thing's mandible, and then pulls that off, and then cuts it in half, and then it kicks both bodies down here, and it kind of stands there looking around, with its sword, like the great sword is just on fire.
Mhm.
And you see that sort of like same blue glow coming from it as it's looking around, and it's these like jerky movements, and its ears twitching, and then it moves back in.
Dract is going to go retrieve her bolt, and then make her way back inside, and like she'll have her crossbow out
Okay.
and start to kind of move forward.
Okay. So you see it start to like it starts to kneel, and then you move to where you are, and it does this thing where it just looks at you. Can you give me a will save?
Yes, maybe.
Okay. You felt kind of an overwhelming wave of terror just sort of wash past you, and you managed to withstand the wave.
Okay.
And then
But-
it starts moving in your direction.
Zeract will take a step back at that point.
Okay.
And she'll say to Lumio, "All right, can you let it know message received at this point? But also, this is a training ground. Isn't
may
the
have
idea
a
that-
purpose here.
Zeract will sheath her weapon.
I don't know what it is yet, but I'm trying to intuit it, which is not easy.
And it
Go ahead.
kind of stands there, and you kind of see that like the tightness of its face and its mouth. You see its jaw actually barely move. Can you give me a perception check? Hear a word.
Yes.
And anybody who's nearby can give this as well. The DC on this is a 15 because it whispers. It's super quiet.
Out and clear.
Dannerid's like, it's crystal clear. Everything. I've seen it all.
You gotta tell us about it, Dandarin?
So you hear this shaky whisper, and the word that it says is Voto. And to those who speak Goblin,
I do. Well, I do.
Mhm. I heard it and I do.
this is a word that's along the lines of, it kind of has multiple meanings. So it's sort of slave, but also sort of useless person, and also kind of unproven person.
Direct. He's saying that you're worthless and unproven.
Tercia cannot help but laugh.
And Zeract, as you put it away, and it just stands there staring at you, like the flame from the blue eyes just glaring.
Zeract is, without the weapon, is going to step forward again and say, "Then how do we prove ourselves?" And she'll gesture to like the archery stands, to the training dummies, to the rings.
And so you step forward, and you're gesturing to all this, and it doesn't really engage with the movements. It just sort of stares at you, and then it after a while of basically a minute of this thing looking at you after you've stepped forward, it moves back, and it goes to its circle, and it kneels.
Okay, Zeract is officially done with this shit. And she's gonna walk forward, skirting this stuff, skirting here, and she's gonna stand by this ring in front of it, and she's gonna approach it and see if it makes any adjustments as she gets closer to the ring itself.
Like you're standing by the ring, like you're about to enter.
Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't seem to react in any noticeable way other than an ear twitch. The same one from before. Both of them just sweep back real fast. Just a flick.
Fact, are you very sure about what I think you're about to do?
Nope.
Well, at least you're making an informed decision.
Shrewd, any suggestions here before I do this thing?
Try not to die.
Zeract will step into this ring.
And you see it slam its hand into the ground and grab the hilt and stand with both hands on the greatsword. The flames instantly lick up the blade, painting the whole room in blue once again. And at that point, we're going to take a break.
Cool.
So we'll be back in about 10 minutes. Yeah.
You could do it even 15.
Yeah, we can do 15. We'll do 15 and we'll just come back at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, just make it nice and easy.
All right. So we are all back, and Zeract was busy making mistakes. Justin, what would Zeract like to
Make mistakes.
Man, this guy's gonna wreck my day.
It's bad news, man.
The best thing to do is to commit.
Double down.
Or quit while you're ahead.
I mean, there's also that.
Wow, thanks.
You're
Thanks.
welcome.
I thought it just said death. I was like, no, that ain't great.
Um,
Like I said, sometimes I name things different stuff so that if somebody is watching, they don't always know what it is. Because
Yeah.
a lot of times my entire list of creatures is on the map.
Oh, okay.
Sharut's
In and
gonna
out for me.
Zarak is gonna ask Sharut, how do I show deference and or respect here?
Sure can roll on that.
I mean, he's been digging a whole lot of history, so.
He has.
Sharut says, "Apologies, but you cannot. A simple sparring match does not prove this. No one action will prove this. Your place is less than his. You must accept." So, what would you
Always
like to
try
do with
running.
what would you like to do with your turn?
Zarak is disgusted by this. Like, she gets it, but
You can't have a 5,000-year empire of conquerors and look at other people as equals. Like, that's just not how it works.
yeah. But also, like, this is one of those things that touches on just the way shifters have been treated really all the goddamn time.
Mm-hmm.
And she's like, oh, okay, so you're another one of those assholes. And she's just going to turn and walk away. Like, she's just getting out. She goes up here.
Okay.
And she's like, fuck it. If he's going to attack, then he'll stab me in the back and
He
prove he's a
doesn't attack.
worthless sack. Okay. But yeah, so
Yeah,
she just leaves.
it doesn't attack. It watches you for a bit, and when you leave the circle and it looks like you're no longer making any aggressive action, you see it just kneel back down and place the sword in front of it again and stare at the wall, and you see the glow from its eyes dim a little bit.
At this point, Zarak doesn't care. She's going to walk up to this door and try and open it.
That door does not open.
It doesn't.
Nope. However, because this seems like a thing that she's trying to keep keenly aware of, when you try it, like when you reach out to try it, its hand moves and goes towards the blade again.
You know what? No, she's done.
Okay.
Your empire fell. You're the last one of your kind that we see here. And Sharut, my goblin friend over there, is an archaeologist. He's digging up the remains of the civilization you used to be. Your kind failed.
Its ears twitch.
Sure.
Like
That's the best you've got at this point.
you,
She just goes off,
yeah.
like, completely.
yeah. You're not getting much of a reaction from it, even as you begin like shouting at it or letting it have it. You probably know from your check earlier.
Mhm.
This thing is past having a choice in things like this. Like it is a death knight. It almost works by programming at this point. There are certain truths that it abides by, whether those truths are actually true or not. So yes, the anger at being considered less than, completely appropriate. But at this point, you know that like it can't change that, especially with your role. You know it can't change that. Abandoning core principles like that would be antithetical to it. So while Zarak is yelling at the zombie, what's everyone else doing? For Sidna, we'll actually take the hint this time and grudgingly sheathe the sword.
Jillian's just sort of like watching on, just staying near Sharut, asking questions of like, why isn't he doing anything? Just trying to learn.
Yeah. Sharut has no idea what this is, but he goes, well, if it will let Zarak go up the stairs, Sharut will go up the stairs.
My only defense. So Tercia.
Yeah, like Sharut has no more idea than you do about most of this. Like it's not like he's ever encountered a death knight before. So
yeah, of course.
He goes up the steps, and then you see the same sort of reaction when he tries the door, as what happened with Zarak. There's that like kind of hand moving to the blade again, and so Sharut stops and he goes around the corner. So what's everybody else doing?
I mean, at this point, it's either going to kill us, and there's nothing we can do about it if we explore this place. So, Andrew votes, we just fucking leave.
I I correct.
This is effectively a waste of time.
It is not tertia. It is tertia irverbos.
Are we not going to leave? Am I muted?
Zrax is like, she kind of winds down, and as Denrin's like, I vote that we leave. She's like, nope, we're going to take whatever is useful here. We're going to go do this thing that we said that we're going to do. And I am going to sit here and watch in case it can see through walls or hear that something is happening on the other side. If one of you wants to stand closer to the corner there so that I can call out if it takes any action, that would be useful.
From around the corner, you hear, Sharut found kitchen. Will someone come with Sharut?
Tertia just like immediately just doesn't cross through the circle like I just did.
Yeah.
So, Lumio,
So, yeah, you get up.
let me ask you something.
Hold on there, Dylan.
Who's that in the darkness?
You get up, Tertia, and when you cross the corner, you
Let's
see
move
a
towards the
hallway with a couple of doors. 2 of them are closed, 2 of them are open. Sharut's standing in front of one, and when he sees you, he kind of like steps back from one of the open doors, and he points, and he says, kitchen that way.
Just books it.
And Sharut starts moving in. You walk into what looks like it was some sort of dining room. Oh, you're going in that one.
Oh, I thought this was the one you were talking about.
No, it was the one that I moved Sharut into.
Gotcha.
So you enter what looks like it was a dining room. There's a couple of tables with some chairs, or at least the remnants of such. They have essentially all been broken or shattered. You see there's a lot of like blood stains on them, but you're not seeing any bodies at all. This looks like a fight that happened a long time ago. And then Sharut points into here, and you can see that there's the kitchen in there. And he says, "Watch Sharut's back." And goes in and starts looking around the kitchen.
Sure. I'll also rummage in the kitchen.
Sounds good. Give me a perception check. All right, so the 2 of you are rummaging around in the kitchen. Meanwhile, probably delete that Dolgaunt out there. What happened to... Where's Lumio?
Right here.
Oh.
Yeah, right next to me.
I don't know why I couldn't see you. I was like, man, these shadows actually work. All right.
Yeah.
So, Lumio and Delian, what would you like to do?
I asked if Delian would like to follow the wall, sticking close to that, because I can't see very well over here.
Oh, yeah. Here, let me be your eyes, and I'll tap my face, see in the dark, and where do you want to go?
I'm very interested in all of the historical objects, which
Okay.
unfortunately are not very well in repair, but they don't bite, generally. That oven was odd.
Yeah, I would say so. All right, well, and then I'll just lead him to kind of like the back area.
Okay.
Oh, there's a
Lumio
door
follows,
that's locked. Or,
As
I'll just give him a layout of the land, as it were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, Lumio, as you're moving up, you see there's like the landing and everything, and you guys can examine around and see what's up.
It seems that Dandrin is content to wait here
Yeah, seems like.
for the moment.
Seems like Dandrin still thinks we should just leave.
And at this point, can everybody please give me a fortitude save, please?
Sure.
You all get a +5 to this.
You said a +5?
Yeah, if you're wearing your cold weather gear, you get
Oh,
a
that's right.
+5.
Awesome.
Well, I rolled like shit.
Frozen to the floor.
That'd be wherever he dies, there shall he be buried.
Yeah.
All right, that was everybody. For sure as well, which I believe is I don't actually what page are saves on in the sheet? I haven't actually had to use the sheet.
First page.
First page, summary.
The first page in summary.
Yep. Under quick info, you've got AC touch, and then underneath those, you've got fortitude, reflex, and will.
Oh, gotcha. Perfect. So everybody's fine. Everybody resists the cold. Delian, you get Lumio up to there, and you see that there's a turn around the corner, and then you're able to kind of like see that there's some doors down that way.
A lot of doors here. When I've seen we go for some of them, there's like the Death Knight goes for his sword, so I don't know how much you want to explore, and I'll just be truthful here. I don't want to explore this.
Then we have no need to re-explore it.
Zeract, you see the Death Knight sort of snap its head up and then grab for its sword and walk outside.
Death Knight's moving out. Doesn't seem to be approaching anybody in the hallway.
All right. Well, this is getting really bad.
I'm gonna follow.
Like,
Dewey.
we have a guardian of sorts, but don't like it.
I don't much like him either.
Is this a Pop-Tart? Tertia, you and Charut look around for a handful of minutes. You even timidly check the oven. There does not seem to be anything of note in here. The kitchen isn't quite as smashed up as the dining room is, but there's nothing of value. Like the herbs are all like frost burned to the point where they're useless, and yeah.
Not even like a freezer burned hot pocket.
Nope.
Wow. Zeract is gonna kind of back up.
Yeah.
Keeping an eye, and then try this door.
You try it. The door is locked.
Sure enough, she makes a and then gives a nod to the door, and then goes and sits back down.
Okay.
I guess I'll go and lock the door.
I'd suggest you do it quickly, but I'll let you know if he's coming back.
And Tertia, Charut says, "Let's check barracks."
All right.
Which door did you want me to unlock? Is that one?
I think he was talking about this one over here. Can you give me a disable device check there, Dandrin?
Gosh, I'll try.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah.
Your
Holy
rolls have been
shit.
insane tonight. What have you done with
Mhm.
Eric?
Well, I killed him and took his life, obviously.
But not his luck.
Eric Cure.
Smart.
I left that to his family.
Yes, the door unlocks. Within, what you see is unlike what I've been describing to Tertia and Charut. This room is untouched. There's some ice in there. It's still cold, but you see a desk with a chair on it. There's a wardrobe that over, the last couple thousand years has sort of fallen into kind of disrepair. But yeah, you see that. The rest of you see Dandrin walk up and sort of like smash the ice off the door and then quickly pick the lock. While you're doing that, you hear sort of pained. It sort of sounds like if you could take the sounds that like bugs make, that like sound, and just crank it way up in terms of volume and then crank it way down in terms of bass. You hear that coming from outside, but it's a very pained sound.
Zeract is going to step backward again, pop over, say, "I'm going to close this door so that it doesn't think that anything has changed. And if it comes back before you're done, or if it looks like it's coming back, I'll shout out. But if it has, you'll want to wait in here for a little bit, or perhaps explore, and we'll wait for the next time it goes for you to return."
Delian, I think I'm unworthy, and I want to leave before he gets back.
Yeah.
He also thinks that you're
I'm
unworthy.
right there with you.
That's because, spoiler alert, we are unworthy.
That door's shut. Dandrin, nobody can hear you.
Tertia,
I heard you.
Tertia, you and Charut are in a shattered-looking barracks. There's basically what you see are a sextet of bunk beds that have all been just broken and shattered. There are also a number of what look to be footlockers that are in a similar state. They've either been like had holes made in them. They have their lids off. There's a lot of like, judging by the sort of brown stains under the ice on the mattresses, it looks like something in here was probably killed in their bed. Yeah.
So I guess those blankets are no good then.
Blankets, well, I mean, they would have a blood stain, but they're still blankets. Can you give me a perception check, please?
Yes. Just need to press the button.
Oh God, it's the button.
Oh, sweet Jesus, not the button.
All right. You and Charut kind of look around the place, and you're not able to really find much of value. Like to the point where you're finding so little of value that it kind of occurs to you that someone else probably already ransacked this room. And then you see Charut kind of take one of the chests that's been shattered, and he moves a bunch of the like iced over clothing and stuff out, and he kind of like knocks on the bottom of the chest, and he pushes on it a little bit, and you hear this dull like click click, and he
Oh no, it's a trap.
he opens it and he pulls out a small coin purse. And Shrewd says, "It's not much, but probably worth the looking." And he
Better than not finding it at all. How recently would you say this place was ransacked?
So judging by the amount of ice here, a long time ago.
Okay.
Like nothing here is recent. It just looks like somebody else already did it.
All right.
Especially when you see that like it's not just that the chests are open, it's that most of the contents are like scattered outside.
Yeah. So no way to know if anyone from my group survived
Correct.
when I gotcha.
Yeah. You don't think that based on what you've seen, it's not like you're looking at this and you're like, oh, some of those House Thrash guys have been right here before. That's not what I was saying. So,
all right,
cool. Dandarin, can you give me a perception check?
Oh, yes, I can. I got that many.
Yeah. So you see there's a couple of things of note in this room. Number one is that this sort of wardrobe has kind of slanted to the side. It looks like it just fell due to age. So things in the manifest zone, they don't decay quite as quick, but they do still decay. And it looks like it has sort of fallen to the side, and you see the glint of something kind of shiny in there. Additionally, you see a pair of drawers on the desk that are both sort of like sturdily locked still. And you kind of jiggle them around and you're not quickly able to get in at all.
All right. Can I pick these locks?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me a roll. One of them does not open.
All right. I'll try the next one.
All right. It takes you a little bit of time. I'm assuming that you're trying to do this quietly.
Yes.
Okay. So it takes you a little bit of time, but you're eventually able to like, come on. While the desk hasn't collapsed under the weight, the wood is still very old. And you're able to sort of like less pick the lock and more kind of like force the lock sort of out of the wood so that the desk opens. And you see a sort of a small leather bundle, and when you flip through it, it looks like it's some sort of journal. And there's also a very, very frozen inkwell and a set of silver quills.
Well, it all goes in the bag, carefully, but still.
Okay.
And was there only those two, or was there another?
It was there was only those two drawers on the desk.
Okay. And as far as the other things of note in here, do they look like they're more historical or like?
So the other things on the desk look like they are, sort of knickknacks. Like they're basically paperweights. Another inkwell that has frozen to the point where it has shattered, so it's basically just ice. There's a couple of pieces of paper, but the ice on them makes whatever was on them illegible.
Right. In that case, I'll just go for the store.
Sounds good. Go ahead and give me a disable device check. All right. You can go ahead and open it. All right. And what you see that you're in is a bedroom. You see a blood stain right here on the ground. And from the sort of the way the stain kind of like, just does this in two separate trails. Can you give me a knowledge dungeoneering check? Do you have?
I don't have that.
Okay, then you get nothing from that. You see a blood stain but no body. You see a bed that looks made, and another small wardrobe. This one's only about knee high.
I'll check the wardrobe.
Okay. It opens, and when you open it, it is just clothing. It is all frozen and in various degrees of rot or decay. It's just clothing.
Right. I'll just do a quick inspection of the bed and then.
Okay. Looking at the bed, you're not necessarily finding anything of value. It's a bed. So,
right.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm not going to go busting things open loudly.
Sorry. Let me clarify. What you just did was not the plan that you agreed to with Zerect.
Oh, yeah, but there's nothing in here of significant value. I'll just like crack it open then.
Zeract, yeah, you saw like after the and Delian and Lumio, you saw after the sounds outside stopped, the Death Knight comes back in, kneels in its spot, and just kneels there.
And Zerect says, and he's returned in a very loud voice.
Our hero.
Yes. Mm.
I guess I'm stuck then.
This is not going very well.
All right. Tertia, what would you and Sharut like to do?
Wrong headset.
Probably with eating. Well, I mean, may as well try this door real quick.
That door appears to be locked.
Sure does. And this door?
Same.
Oh.
And Sharut says, Sharut is no good with doors. Perhaps.
Me
oh, no, wait,
either.
Wait, hold on. Sharut spoke in error. Sharut is very good with doors. Sharut will try to pick this lock.
To know.
I had no idea that Sharut had a good disable device roll. Sharut will open the door.
Jeez Louise.
And says, this one looks intact, but still ransacked. And looking into it, you see a barracks room that is like the previous one, just not shattered. Like the beds are old and sort of like rotted through from age or from the weight of the ice, so they're tilted. But it's not like somebody came in here and actively like broke things.
Well,
yeah,
maybe we'll get lucky.
All right, go ahead and give me a perception check. You are the one this time that is able to find a small bag of coins.
Sweet.
And yeah, so
Never hurts to look, unless there's a mimic there, which I am sorry to bring it up. Sorry.
Sharut will learn to trust again. So while this is going on, Zeract, are you doing anything of note?
She's just keeping watch. Like she's waiting for him to turn and go again, so that she can tell Dandarin that that it's safe to come back out.
Okay, and yeah, you're waiting for a bit. It's another 10 minutes, another 20 minutes, and then another 30 minutes, and right around the time that Forsidna just kind of goes like, ugh, this is taking forever. Its head snaps up and it walks outside.
Dandarin, now. Don't tell me you fell asleep in there. Come on, man.
This is the first real intact bed we've seen.
She moves over, opens the door. Come on.
What do you want? I'll break your knees. So is he here?
Nope.
No,
He's out.
that's why I came and got you.
All right. FBI, open up. This one's doomed forever. As I just like I just look at it. It's just
You you can't manage to get this one open. You do manage to get this one open, and a quick bit of looking, you're not finding anything of note in there.
all right, this place sucks. Let's leave.
Sharut, agree.
All right, well, if we're not doing anything in its sight anymore, Sharut, have you found everything?
There was only coinage.
Let's just leave.
Not
go.
exactly. I mean,
Find a sandwich
I wish.
if you did.
If you found a sandwich,
If you did,
and
it's
you
mine.
didn't- If you found a sandwich and you didn't tell me, I swear to God, Tertia.
Did you find
only
a
just
sandwich? You gotta
mentioned-
tell me if you found a sandwich.
and
We'll leave.
when you guys walk outside, it's over here fighting a pair of Dolgar, and you see it just sort of stabbing and slicing, and it is managing to cut through their various meaty bodies because it has a big ass flaming greatsword, and they have just meaty bodies.
It's just meat.
It's just meat, and once they're both dead, it moves like this. And for those that don't get
I'll
out
move
of the way, for those that don't get out of the way, it still moves in that direction. And then it walks in, and yeah,
Zerax is just like, all right, we're done here. Let's go.
all right.
Quickly on to the next plateau.
On to the next plateau.
Oh, there's no boundaries here.
Some sort of uncertainty lich.
You fool.
Oh, God.
All
You
right,
stepped into the
stop
abyss.
moving your dudes. I gotta copy them for the next map. You're all terrible. Mostly Mike, but you're all terrible.
You know what you signed up for.
I'll take the 2% of that. That's mine. It's fine.
All right. So, you guys are currently here. Where would you like to go?
Dandrin, your suggestion was this building behind it.
Somewhere else.
All right, we
Okay.
leave. Actually,
We-
it's kind of interesting because that guy protects us from right around this direction,
Yeah.
so we can always
I was-
retreat that way because he's a jerk.
I was gonna say there's some like barracks over there that he can't see. He doesn't seem to care about. When we unlocked one, maybe it's a new place for us to, hide out and be safe.
Possibly. Yeah, we hit there, then we hit there, and I want to be quick about it.
I just
As
I have
efficient
the
as
feeling
possible.
that we can't get to 7 without going through 8.
So the path up to 7 is this one. You have to go up this one and then cross the bridge.
Oh,
Well, in that case, we'll go there and then there.
Sounds good to me.
That sounds out of order.
Out of
what
order.
could this be?
Is this of anything value, or is this just
So
ruins?
when you look at that, you guys can all look at that as you sort of pass.
Oh,
So basically, what you see is kind of like where you've been passing, especially up here. A lot of places where the Death Knight has killed invading forces of the city. It seems like over here are the old forces of the city.
Mm.
So these are the unmutated bugbears, the unmutated hobgoblins and goblins, even the occasional dwarf or gnome. So you still see some of those here, and they're basically just stacked. Things here don't really rot, so they're just sort of stacked.
Oh, okay.
do any of them?
Kinda depressing.
Do these all look like they were like just the old ones, or does it look like he may have added recent expedition corpses here?
Give me a perception check.
I would also like to make this perception check.
Sure thing.
Zarak is mad and is storming off. She does not make this perception check.
All right. So, Dandarin, you do see one body that looks to be fairly recent. And Tertia, once Dandarin points it out, you are able to identify it as a goblin that was part of your group.
Well, that's one of the people I came in with. Fuck.
I see. That's unfortunate. Were you closer?
But no, I didn't know any of their
Oh.
names.
Okay.
I
Well,
just recognized their face.
I will collect the stuff from that body.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to 1 second, trying to align the grid real quick. That helps a bit, but not much. You're able to collect some of the stuff. There's not much. It looks like this guy got a couple of claws to the chest and then just fell apart. But you're able to take his identifying papers that label him as a contractor for House Thrash.
Right. We'll make sure they get that.
Yeah. And then the group moves on.
Indeed.
Actually, do you mind if I look at those papers real quick?
Look at them. Or that's what you
Say
said.
how
Right? You
much
said
he was
look.
getting
Look
paid.
at, edit.
You know. I'll find
Why
it.
would you? No. Why would you edit these papers? Please come now. Trump.
Because we are from a town that is very poor, and this person isn't going to get their share because they're dead unless he signs it over to me.
I understand what you want to do. I truly do, and well, I can't argue.
Then do it.
Well, I was going
You
to
just
say,
said you
with
can't
the
argue.
with the nobility of what you're trying to do, of helping out those who are misfortunate. In the event that this poor goblin here had next of kin, they would need to be paid out. It would be only proper. I'll not deny their family to feed my own. Not when it's not right.
So how long would you hold on to those papers then?
Oh no, we're turning them back in as when we get up and then when we leave the city.
Okay.
As long as I'll hold on to them.
Okay. Tercia takes a -2 to all socials with Denderin.
Tercia will remember this.
FBI, open up.
I have the drawback pride.
So, yeah, you guys go up. You see, this place has a some actual like lights that are still glowing, just like we're in the training facility. And there's a pair of sturdy iron-bound stone doors ahead of you. They look like they have been beaten, they have been battered, and they are holding strong.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Leon, would you care to give me a hand with this?
sure. I'm not feeling too great, but I'll see what I can do.
What's wrong? Are you injured, or just
Got a
is
tummy
the
ache?
experience pushing down on you, and you feel the walls closing in, and like everything's unraveling from within, and it's all gone to shit?
You need some serious help, my friend.
I'm trying to help you. I need to narrow down the problem.
No, you just showed you need the help.
My brother.
My brother. But my brother.
Well, anyway, here, give me a hand with this, and yeah, I think you have the higher number, so I'll actually assist you. But
Not necessarily. I took like some serious poison damage, bro.
oh, your hands, yes. Oh God, I'm so sorry. I spent so long trying to get back up the damn stairs. I never saw it
Yeah.
did something to you.
Uh-huh. It's all right.
And
Let's
Sharut
get out of
couldn't
this.
help you much, huh?
It doesn't matter.
Sure.
Let me like.
Sharut cannot do much against poison short term.
Well, this was good. Off to the bridge we go.
Good thing there's another door.
This door is very locked.
There are two separate instances of door. I would like to test the other one.
But I suspect there's only one instance of lock.
1 second here. I have to like
Kill Dandrin for his audacity.
yeah, I mean that's it.
Okay.
It wasn't, but now is.
I just needed to make sure.
Oh no, my dwarf Dandarin has been replaced by Mandarin.
Human,
Oh.
but same build.
But then the game
world
died.
You'll have to reboot. It stopped letting me click things.
Mm.
I
Sounds
lack
like an
server
important thing to
administrator
do.
permission to submit this request.
Yeah, I just refreshed.
In the words of everyone, Mike, get good.
Yeah, maybe have that. And
So anyway, sorry about that technical glitch. Back to the very first roll we're trying on this door.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
the two of you, no, the two of you try and like you're not able to make any headway.
In that case, Dandarin's got what he's doing for the next 15 minutes or hour, whatever.
Jeez Louise.
Ring my bell. Ring my bell.
Hi ho, hammering we go. Do, 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 do.
Hey,
Hey,
Dandarin, you want some help with that?
Hey, Dandarin, give me a common sense check. Like, let's say wisdom.
He doesn't have that.
He lost it. You took it from him earlier. John, do you not remember?
Yeah, seems like a great idea.
God damn it.
In the
Well, if
In
you're
the,
here, you
like-
could stop me.
40-50 minutes that you guys were in the training ground, you guys definitely didn't see the Death Knight go out and kill 3 different groups of wandering things.
Of course
Mhm.
not. No. We heard it.
Sov.
I didn't see it, that's for sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Everyone is sitting here. Anyone could say anything at any moment.
Hey,
I
Dandarin,
did.
you want some help with that?
All right.
Well,
Well, this is dumb, and I think it's going to be where we stop for the night because it's definitely going to result in random encounters. Because there's no way that something making big, loud noises like that for the next 10 to 15 to 20 minutes doesn't get
Yeah,
everything
100%.
coming for it.
I'm not hiding over here.
It seems
Don't
like
worry about it.
it seems like Lumio's like, no, I'm out.
Yeah.
So we'll stop here and we'll pick up next week.
Cool.
Thanks for watching, everybody, and see you next week. Bye.